And now on Who's Views, it's time to join JT, Paul, and Third Doctor Ian for the latest headlines.
Here we go then, everybody. Welcome back to Who's Views. It's your big show. Headlines on Friday, the 25th of April, 2025. How are you all? It is good to see you. Another lovely day here in the UK. So I'm therefore very happy today. But yes, don't worry, Saturday's coming, and that means a new episode of Doctor Who, so I'll be in a bad mood this time tomorrow. I am certain, but who can tell? We're going to be coming up to that because have you heard? The Doctor is back on British telly. We're going to be talking about that in just a couple of minutes. That's something to get very excited about. Yes, indeed. A journalist from one of our favourite newspapers here on the channel, the Metro, has shocked me. Yes, by gasp, shock, horror, possibly speaking the truth. That's coming up in this particular edition of Headlines as well. And we will be peering deep into the well. Oh, maybe they'll find the viewing figures in there. I'm not sure. But anyway, yes, bringing on, let's bring them on now. Joining me, as usual, is the Dr. Ian and it's Paul. Another Friday. Here we go.
Hello there. Yeah, another Friday, yes.
Isn't it exciting? Hello there, we all say. So that's great. Listen, big show coming up, guys. So I hope you're ready for a big chat.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. As always.
As usual. Yeah. I'd like to say a huge thank you to everybody that has been getting in touch this week. And I'd like to thank to everybody. Thank you so much for your comments about our show just a couple of nights ago on Wednesday, where we pay tribute to the one and the only, the first Doctor himself, William Hartnell, on what was actually the 50th anniversary of his passing back in 1975. I'm so glad that that went down so well and that you all enjoyed it. It's just nice every now and then, though, isn't it, to look at our, especially when this thing is on right now. You know, even with sad occasions like that, guys, it's nice to actually just talk about it, isn't it?
It is, and I think William Hartnell will be pleased that his legacy is continuing. It's a shame the current series isn't as good as the original series, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's quite bittersweet, isn't it? You look back and you know, he was a great actor and he had a huge list of credits to his name, but he came to our show. He made our show.
Yeah.
And you look at that, and then Troughton and Pertwee and Tom Baker and everything else, and you look at that, and it's so bittersweet because you see that, and then you see this.
Yeah.
And it's almost, you know, apart from the logo and the box, it's almost it's totally unrecognizable, and it just makes it more sad, really. But it's good to look back on the greatness that it was, and just to remind ourselves of what it could be, maybe again one day. Who knows?
I'm still certain that it could be in the right hands.
Yeah.
But it's certainly not there at the moment. As usual, I'd like to say thank you very much to everybody that's been getting in touch over the week. I'd like to say thank you to Eddie Day Riley, to Time Lord Victorious, to Mark Jones, to Jane Evans, to Colin Smith, to RJ Andy 2, to Graham, to Edward Bracken, to Kevin Taylor, I Love to Be, The Truth Is Up There, Alexander Peter Werber, Graham Dawson, David Philp, Alan Brown, Chiggy118, to John Griffiths, to Colin Smith, and to Ruby Slippers. Welcome to Who's Views.
That's Russell T. Davis, I bet you. That's Russell T. Davis, I'm telling you.
I like that. When I got this email from Ruby Slippers, thank you so much. I still don't know what your name is, but I know you're a lady. So welcome, welcome, welcome. It's good to see you. But thank you all for that, everybody. And welcome, yes, to Friday's big show. Headlines. Start your weekend off the way you mean to go on with us. I don't know if that's good or bad, actually. But no, good to see you all. Yeah, and the great news is, of course, that Doctor Who is back on telly. But maybe not the Doctor you've been expecting, because as a lot of you were telling us on Wednesday, a lot of messages over the last couple of days, yes, there was a release out on Wednesday that Jon Pertwee is once again the Doctor. Isn't this fantastic news, everybody? The U channel, it's You and Eden channel here on the UK, are going to be broadcasting from May the 5th, Monday, May the 5th, season 7, everybody. The one that Pertwee started with. from Spearhead from Space. Wow. This is just fantastic news, isn't it, guys?
It's brilliant. I noticed, had a look on their listings pages, and apparently they're showing them every day. So you get like a full story a week kind of thing, which is great.
It is very confusing.
Yeah.
And look at this. Because it starts at 9:05 in the morning with part 1, 20 to 10 with part 2, and so on, and so on, and so on throughout the entire day.
They're finally taking heed of the fact we don't like compilations. That's good. That's really good.
It's great news, though. And I was messaging Pertwee, our ratings analysis expert, as you all know, and I said to him, "Wouldn't it be fun, or wouldn't it be interesting if the evening shift of these broadcasts brought in more than 1 million viewers?"
Yeah. Well, to be fair, though, you can count every view, can't you? Every broadcast, can't you? Surely, if that's what they're doing.
In their rules, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Lots of you are happy about this in the chat as well. Let's go and see what you're all there. We've got here, John is saying he's back again and it's about time. And we were talking about the legacy of Hartnell. This is great for Pertwee as well, isn't it? As well. This is just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Introduce a whole new audience, won't it, really?
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
Stream audience.
Yeah.
BBC or Bad Wolf must be livid, though, because coming on whilst their travesty is still showing. And people will see what proper Doctor Who is compared to what they're serving up. It'll just underline it even more.
Well, the interesting is this channel's run by the BBC, isn't it? Apparently.
Well, it's I can tell you a bit more about this because I went to see who it is. Now, this of course, You and Drama. I've been going on about for a little bit because they broadcast Bergerac, Toby Wooshouse's new version of Bergerac, massive success. But this channel is UK TV, and they've just spent a small fortune in rebranding. So you've got You and Dave, You and Drama, You and W, You and Yesterday, You and Alibi, You and Eden, and You and Gold. So yes, the BBC are involved. But as a friend of mine was saying to me today, it's very strange that they've now decided to put what JNT and the BBC in the old days used to call Out of Doctor.
Yeah.
Onto this channel when the current version is currently broadcasting. I don't think that's happened before.
No.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no. The Doctor and the Monsters repeated between, was it season 19 and 20, but that had Pertwee and Baker in it. But
it was, but there wasn't a show on at the time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
No. And I'm just imagining this is unusual to have Shooty Gatwa on one side and John
Doctor Who on the other.
Well, I think they're trying to salvage the legacy that is Doctor Who and make people show people this is what it should be like, you know.
Yeah. Well, as Garwood is saying, as we all could say, it's proper Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Hello to Rose Kirby. That's Journey's in the chat as well. Hello there. Domgo is saying perhaps there's a drag queen called Ruby Slippers. Yeah, I wouldn't surprise me if there was.
A different one entirely, surely.
Stephen Braddock is saying to us, it's great to see the great John Pertwee back on the Who's Views headline banner. It's fabulous news. Another Legion of James was saying the same thing about that as well. And Sheila B in the Devotions is saying, yay, my doctor. Mark Greaves saying, I bet they get bigger viewing figures than the BBC.
Oh, fingers crossed.
Great.
And Domgo also saying that's my bank holiday Monday sorted, Ian.
Yeah.
Truth is up there.
Yeah.
I want it just be the icing on the cake if season 7 gets higher viewing figures than Disney season 2 says the truth is up there.
Well, probably based on the sales of the collection set, it's probably been watched more times, that's for sure.
Yeah. And it comes at the same time because you'll remember, Who viewers, back in January this year, we did a whole season celebrating 55 years of this particular season because it's the 55th anniversary of Pertwee starting as Doctor Who on BBC One. And here they are in its anniversary year showing it again. And it looks like it is the Blu-ray box set editions. Absolutely fantastic. Smiley people, oh great, season 7 is so brilliant, he's such a cool Doctor. And Forbidden Man is saying give the newbies a chance to see a real Doctor Who. That's what I'm excited about.
Well, I finished watching season 7, I think I said the other night there, and I've started a bit of a Pertwee marathon and I'm loving it. Absolutely brilliant. Up to Cursopel done now. Superb. Absolutely brilliant.
Dark Hole is with us saying I wish it started with Hartnell, but still it's great news. There's a reason they don't know. It's because Hartnell,
there's so many things missing, isn't it? That's the problem, and so many gaps, you know.
But it's also black and white. It's black and white.
Having said that, they are repeating lots of black and white stuff on some of the comedy channels, like Steptoe Son and Lightly Lads, things like that. So there is an audience for it.
We'll soon see. You never know. Anthony Parker's with us saying Caviar and New and Eden, Tripe on BBC One. And season 7 is just the best, said Rosie Mead, saying the viewing figures will be interesting, won't they just? And we'll have to have a look at that. And Mark Jones telling us, I think Eden has the same deal as the horror channel a few years ago with Spearhead than the Silurians. Yeah, possibly. But because it's got the BBC involvement in this, and it's a massive rebrand, which they've only just completed before Christmas.
Well, I hope they don't do the last time. Remember on BBC Two, they started with Spearhead, then Silurians, then thought, oh no, let's go Genesis Daleks instead. That was a big, massive jump, and what a shame, you know?
Well, I actually took out the press release from the UK TV people from back in November. And it says basically the U Master brand initially launched in July last year with UK TV's family of free-to-air channels becoming You and Dave, You and Drama, You and Yesterday, and You and W. And its free streaming service, formerly UK TV Play, transitioning to You. With Eden having moved free-to-air as You and Eden, today's renaming of the pay channels, this is before Christmas, to You and Gold and You and Alibi, unites the full UK TV network, pay channels, free-to-air channels, and free streaming service under the You brand. And then there was a statement from the UK TV's chief marketing officer, who is Penny Brow. With our free-to-air portfolio and the You streaming service going from strength to strength under the You Master brand, I'm so excited to be bringing the same bold approach with its warmth and personality to our pay channels, You and Gold and You and Alibi. The rollout of You has involved the work and dedication of our teams across the entire organization, so it's a real moment to see the full set of channels finally under the You banner, connecting and better leveraging our brands as we continue our transition to a digital-first and audience-led business. So good for them, good luck for them. And now they've got Doctor Who, that's going to be popular.
Yeah.
Especially when they're showing it as much as they are through the day. That's going to be great. So yeah, isn't that wonderful? Core of Sci-Fi and Fantasies with us saying, good evening folks, it's nice to see you again, and you as well. The modern show has never got to the level of success as the original. Modern Doctor Who is not and never will be real Doctor Who. I'm just really excited by the fact that there will be some kids who find this Doctor like they did when the show was off air and we were all older. We were getting older, but these young ones came along.
Well, hopefully there's UK Gold all over again, isn't it? Remember,
that's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah. And if they're going to be showing, I'm looking for. I'm going to support this. When I get in at night, if I can find it around about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, I'll watch this. All these repeats because, I think we should support this. I really do because if they can go through Pertwee, maybe they can go into Baker, and then who knows what's going to happen? They can start again like UK Gold used to do.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. We're really good.
Carmen's saying to us, maybe they're trying to fiddle the viewing figures. I think this is competition. This is Pertwee versus Gatwa.
There is no competition whatsoever.
Where can we get Eden, says PTA, Paul Thomas Ashworth? Well, if you're in Britain, you should be able to find it. I've got it here for you on Freeview, Virgin and Sky. Doctor Who, Spearhead from Space starts from Monday the 5th of May in the morning, as you can see there at 9 o'clock. It goes through the day and it's on every day for 4 days a week, apparently. So that's Monday through Thursday. So there you have it. So you'll have
it's like the Five Faces all over again, isn't it? Yeah.
It is. Yeah. I do have some channel numbers there for you. On BTTV, it's 57. On FreeSat, it's channel 160. On Freeview, 57. Sky, it's 166. TalkTalk is 57. And on NewView, it's 57. And that's where you lose me because I'm call me old-fashioned. I just don't understand any of that. But there you go. All these channel numbers. Do you remember years ago? My grandfather, God love him, said with 3 channels, all these channels and there's nothing on. We didn't know we had any good. Now there's millions of the buggers. He did actually say something along the lines of, "It'll go the American way, and then we'll all be crying." And he was absolutely right. Bless him.
Yeah. And now it's all repeats, isn't it? It used to be a few repeats. Now it's all repeats, constantly on a loop.
Absolutely. And it will be interesting to see. And if we can get them, we'll tell you here on Headlines about the ratings for Spearhead from Space onwards with this repeat Pertwee season.
But we can count 55 years of viewing as well, can't we? We can count that.
But we have heard here on the channel, everybody, that repeats of Last of the Summer Wine on one of the repeat channels is actually currently getting similar viewing figures to the new Doctor Who.
Oh dear. I'd rather watch Compo and Clegg, to be honest, than the current Doctor Who, that's for sure. Yeah.
Well, it's even the older ones. It's the more modern ones now.
Oh, really? Right. Can we review Last of the Summer Wine then? That'd be quite good.
No, we'd be here for years. What Ian?
Compo is better dressed than Gatwa, though, isn't he? He doesn't look quite the crap.
Yeah, bless them all. It's nice to see them all, though, isn't it? Nice to see them all. But yeah,
so
there we go.
Sorry to interrupt you, JT. I think Shooty turned up like Compo at the premiere, didn't he? Remember with that kind of tramp outfit?
Yeah, you did say that with a string around his waist.
String around his waist, yeah.
Rory and Cheryl and friends too saying, we love watching the Summer Wine. Garbage is busy putting everything in the chat for you now, so thank you very much, everybody. Mark Greaves is saying Gatwa versus Pertwee is like penguin versus a lion. Oh, I love penguins.
Yeah.
Mike Disney saying to us, supporting the BBC is like patting a vicious dog. They are in so much trouble now, the BBC. Honest to goodness, they're awful. Terrified Monk. Oh no, JT will have to re-up his. What's that to? To renew the TV license to watch. It's not necessarily live TV because you can also get it on a +1, and you can also get it online. I think it's u.co.uk. You can Google that. So there's other ways to watch it as well. I just wonder if it'll all go towards the viewing figure. And Legion of James, this is really exciting news. 100% behind this. This is how you bring in more fans, showing the best of the best.
Yeah.
Here to that one, I think.
Well, if they've not seen any of these episodes, they're in for a massive treat. That's for sure.
Oh, God.
Yeah. How did Eden get permission to show it then? Says Forbidden Man. Well, basically because BBC Studios have a stake in it. And they own Doctor Who, so they can put it where they want. So it's interesting, isn't it?
It really is.
And if it's going to drive people to that channel, I mean, there's lots of good stuff on the U channels. I mean, Bird Rat is just one. We've got the new version of the Foresight Saga coming up with Millie Gibson.
I wonder if any of the episodes that are not on the iPlayer, like Tether Zygons and Seeds of Doom, might turn up on there or not when they get around to that.
It's a different issue, isn't it? Because the iPlayer was a different agreement, as it were.
Right, yeah.
So I reckon they will.
Good.
I reckon we'll soon find out.
Yeah, we will.
If it's successful and they continue on, I would love to see it go into Tom's time as well. I think that would be absolutely fabulous. Yeah. Really good. 4 days a week, Doctor Who. How wonderful. Yes, so there we go, everybody. We're celebrating that here on the channel, and we're really looking forward to that. So good luck to them, because it's come as a really good thing after the shock over the last few days. I'm still trying to get over this.
Oh yeah.
With looks, I mean, I've been having nightmares, Who views, about this. It's absolutely nonsense. I keep thinking that Shooty Gat was going to come out the television at me. I'm like, no, that'd be the worst thing ever, I think. But
that's a real turn off for viewers. That's why it went so low, wasn't it?
Yeah. But fandom this week again has been divided. I don't know about you two, but I have seen an awful lot of fans praising looks and loving it.
Yeah.
Why is that, do you think?
I don't know, because I've got lots of friends like yourselves who are similar ages, and they're loving it, which I can't. We're watching the same program and understand, you know.
They're loving it.
Yeah.
I'm shocked again.
I'm shocked as well. Yeah, because I can't believe that people I've known for a very, very long time, but 30 years, 40 years, are older fans who are actually liking it. I'm really, really surprised at that. I thought they would hate it, you know.
Well, yeah. Well, we've got this one here. We've got somebody in the chat. David Shaw is saying it was a great episode. David, please just let me know why you thought it was, because I couldn't see that at all. If you've seen our review from Sunday, you'll know that I was just mystified by the whole thing. Thanks to everybody for joining us. Hello, Marine Boy 1966. You've just joined us as well. Yeah, I'm just totally not sure about what's happened here. Farsight is saying to us, really, I'm telling everyone not to watch. And Domgo said, looks has the weakest villain I've ever seen. Sunlight turned him into a nothing. What a villain. This could be true from Truth is Up There. There's a core number of fans who believe any Doctor Who is better than no Doctor Who, but I'm not among them. That is true. I've seen that.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've been told over the last couple of years, if you don't start supporting it, it's going to come off the air. And bad Doctor Who is better than no Doctor Who. And I keep saying, no, it's not. No Doctor Who is much better than bad Doctor Who.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird how they work, isn't it? It is very strange. Lux is awful.
I think you have a small core. I mean, I can't speak for the people that you know, Paul. It might be some kind of collective malaise attached to a virus or something, and they'll get over it, and I hope they do. But I think the other lot aren't very many, but they're very vocal, and they know what they've got to do in order to get it to continue, or that they think they need to do to get it to continue, because I don't think it is going to continue. But they think the more positive posts we put out, the more the BBC will believe it. But it doesn't quite work that way. And I think they're on a high to nothing. But it's funny watching them try.
It could possibly be that, couldn't it? You're right there. Matt the Silent Week Music King telling us Lux had potential if certain writers handled it. That's the problem. I've said this on our reviews, isn't it? RTD has some quite nice science fiction ideas, but there's at least one or two per show, and then he adds everything else to it in a different one. Rather than just focusing, he needs a decent script editor. We've been saying this for years now. He needs it, and he hasn't got one. Marine Boy 1966 saying Lux is liked by some, as it's simpler to say it's not as crap as the rest of the other episodes. That's a good point. Legion of James is saying we've had zero quality entertainment for so long that people's standards, expectations, and general acceptance of quality is in the bin. So mildly polished turd is believed to be gold. That's the same thing. And
it's
GD,
a low bar. Yeah.
And GD, it's good to see. And nothing better than watching this alien from another planet weeping his eyes out every 5 minutes. So that really grates on me as well, GD. But that could be the point, couldn't it? It could be the point that they're comparing it to the other 10, 11 episodes we've had from Gatwa now. And it's the best one.
Yeah. That is quite sad. I mean, I think it had a lot of potential that people are saying. I think it could have been a really scary episode, but it's just lost its way completely in the episode. You know, it's really sad.
And if you got rid of that nightmarish, if you got rid of that nightmarish fan thing as well, he could have developed the story even more. But no, we had to have that bit in there to get the fans.
Because I thought that was like a sidetrack, like they did in Joy to the World when he spent a year with that woman in the hotel. It was completely pointless. I thought, really, to be honest, it didn't add anything to the story at all. You know,
nothing at all, and that's why it shouldn't have been there. PTA, thank you so much for your super chat. Looks crap injected by entire NHS steroid supply, and they'd know all about it. I tell you, honestly, the NHS captured by the TQ cult. It's ridiculous. Dalek Eye, maybe they are scared it's over and they're telling everyone it's amazing to make people watch. Yep. Where else? And John Cartwright saying it was controversial but tough. Whoever likes this new rubbish? Well, obviously a few of them are out there saying that they like it. David Shaw,
I would love to like it. I really would.
David saying, why is Mrs. Flood in Lux episode to end? Who is she really? She seems to be in every episode. Well, she's a running theme. She's going to be in every episode. She's in the next one as well, because she's apparently, spoilers alert for anybody that cares, apparently she is going to be revealed as the Rani. Oh, whip you do.
It's like talking to camera, isn't it, and breaking the fourth wall. Is this tied in to the fictitious fans watching? Is that who she's talking to? You know, are they going to try and in this reality war at the end? Is that how they're going to try and tie it all up?
I love the way you're interested.
Ever tied anything.
Well, the reason we're talking about this at the moment is not just because I've had to get over last week's episode, and I'm gearing up now for the Well tomorrow as well, but because fandom has reacted. A lot of fans have been saying, oh, it was the best episode, it was the best episode, blah blah blah, and I'm just thinking, right, okay, well, I don't think it was. But then this turned up, and you may have seen this just the other day from one of our favorite woke papers, the Metro of all papers, the thing you wouldn't even take to the toilet with you. But, you know, yes, the Metro. And one of its journalists, who is a fan, his name is Tom Percival. And look what he said in the Metro. I'm going to say it again, I'm still shocked. Doctor Who's greatest episode in years proves it's broken beyond repair. Hey. Yes, he's saying this. This is, I bet his colleague, Asia, I bet she's not happy with this. I bet she's put in a HR complaint. He's hurt my feelings. I bet it's in there now. But yeah, look at this. This is ridiculous. So let's see what Tom Percival from the Metro, and as you can see, he's a young man there. Let's see what he's saying. I'm a massive Doctor Who fan, he writes, so it brings me no pleasure to write what I'm about to write. Since 2005, I've travelled with the Time Lord to alien worlds in the distant past, meeting incredible people, and watched in wonder as they did the impossible. So it's with a heavy heart, and I've only got the one, that I admit that I think the show's broken. And sadly, I can't see how even regeneration can fix what's wrong. Just look at the abysmal ratings for the Doctor Who latest episode, Lux. A rather paltry, in TV terms, 1.58 million viewers tuned in to watch the Doctor battle the new villain, Mr. Wrong-a-Ding-Ding, on Saturday night, despite the episode receiving rave reviews from critics. Now, it's worth saying that those viewing figures don't paint the full picture, as they don't include those watching on iPlayer. They always have to say that. They don't. No, it's the standard now. It doesn't matter. Who cares? But he carries on. But still, it's clear we're light years away from the show's heyday when it attracted millions of viewers every Saturday. So, if an episode hailed by some as the best in years, for the record, I thought it was tremendous. So he liked this as well. Can't get bums on seats. We have to ask ourselves, what's wrong with the BBC's former golden child? Well, if I were the diagnosing physician, I'd say there were two main issues. Firstly, let's address the Jadoon in the room. The show isn't as good as it was. Yes, I know I just wrote that Lux is one of the best episodes in years, but the emphasis should be on the latter part of that phrase, in years. Ever since Peter Capaldi's Doctor popped his clogs, the show has struggled with weak stories and poor payoffs that have let down brilliant actors. For the most part, Whittaker's series was defined by poor characterization, boring villains, and attempts to fit plot holes no one cared about. Ncuti's tenure, meanwhile, has been marred by convoluted stories about space gods, weak resolutions, and genuinely terrible episodes like the loathsome Space Babies. I lay a lot of the blame for the general antipathy towards Ncuti's run at the feet of whomever thought making Space Babies the first episode was a good idea. It was a rubbish story with a gross but forgettable baddie and ropey CGI. Everything about it was a misfire, and while there have been bad episodes in great series before, Love and Monsters, 42 and Sleep No More, to name but a few, they've never been the first episode in a season. Honestly, in an era when first impressions matter, I can't believe it was allowed to run, and I do think its general naffness, which is totally a word, has put off fans who might have otherwise enjoyed Ncuti's adventures through time and space. Furthermore, I think showrunner RTD isn't sure who he wants the show to appeal to anymore. Every other day it feels like there's a new casting announcement or celeb lined up to cameo. But who are these announcements for? Are kids today excited by the news that Ryling is appearing in an upcoming episode? Does Graham Norton have big Gen Alpha appeal? I don't know, but the whole thing stinks of that Steve Buscemi. Is that right? Buscemi? How do you do, fellow kids meme? So, if it's not for new viewers, who is it for? I don't know many people who are excited to see Ryling, as charming as he is, turn up in an episode, but I know that if I told people the Daleks were coming back, they'd at least know what I was talking about. It all feels a bit scattershot and lacks the confidence other seasons had. Unfortunately, it's the second reason, though, that may prove terminal for the Good Doctor. You see, we live in an attention-based economy these days. People are fighting for eyeballs and attention, and the BBC hasn't done a great job of generating buzz around the new season. Now, that's not for want of trying. See the aforementioned cameo announcements, but there's a definite lack of excitement around the show, and I put the blame on being unceremoniously dumped on iPlayer on Saturday mornings. Excuse me. I know the thinking is, that it makes watching the show more convenient, but Doctor Who is supposed to be appointment viewing. It's not something to be watched when you feel like it. After all, why would you sit down on a Saturday evening to watch the show when you can see it whenever? Other big shows don't do this. That's a good point. You don't see White Lotus streaming hours before the episode debuts, do you? No, they make you wait because they're confident that the audiences will tune in. Did the BBC learn nothing from Disney's disastrous experiment with Premier Access? When you release stuff straight to streaming, you turn the magic into the mundane because audiences, for right or wrong, don't see stuff that goes straight to streaming as important. I watch TV for a living, and I'm guilty of this because, to be blunt, when I can watch something whenever, it almost always becomes never. Maybe I'm being overdramatic. Perhaps the iPlayer figures will dazzle doubters like me, and the rest of the season will be the highest viewed in history. Forgive me for laughing. I don't know, but what I do know is that if things don't change, Doctor Who's days may be numbered. Now, like it or not, he's been saying stuff that we've been saying for about a year on this channel.
Yeah, yeah. I'm surprised how honest he's being. That's unusual for the Metro, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm surprised
Maybe
he
they
got
thought
it
it
through
was about time they had the
really.
balance. Sorry, and go on.
I'm just surprised he got it past the editor, because they generally have an angle, don't they? But
Well, as I say, it might be because Asia is always banging on about how good it is. Maybe they were looking for balance.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
And this guy I've never heard of, Tom Pertwee, self-confessed Doctor Who fan, but obviously very, very down at the state of the show. I mean, he makes some good points, though, doesn't he?
From 2005, so he's got no sort of like classic series basis in it, has he?
Yeah.
I think that might have clouded his viewing even more if he had.
But it's interesting though. He marks the fact there's not been a great episode in years, and mentioned the fact that George's era wasn't very good as well. So there's a kind of, at least he has a grasp of reality a bit, which is quite good,
Yeah. He is being honest.
Yeah,
he is being honest, and I think that's I think that's great of him. So, Tom, if you come across this show, congratulations and well done for writing something that's actually based, really. And I just think there's an awful lot in that we can talk about, because it's a great article and it's a great way that the fans are thinking, because it doesn't matter for me if he came to the show in 2005, because he was young. He may have gone back. He doesn't state anything about the original series. He may have gone back to watch the original series. But even him as a newbie, like Emilio, like Kirsty, like Miles, is disappointed with the version of the show that they're giving out now, that they're putting out now. And he can see it clearly. And he's obviously very depressed with it.
Yeah.
No, not.
No, he is very clearly very disappointed with it, isn't he? But he's still, I think he's still holding out that candle of hope. But I think us sort of like older and wiser heads, we realise that the writing's long been on the wall, hasn't it, really? I mean, the writing was on the wall with Whittaker, wasn't it? It was a disastrous experiment. It was horrendous in every single way. And this has just doubled down on it and made it even worse. And of course, if Davis hadn't been coming back, then it was canned anyway. So we're no further forward than where we were at the end of Whittaker's era. It's getting canned.
At least he recognises that Space Babies was a duffer as well, which is good because it was. But I don't understand that. 8 episodes, they all should be good. You've only got 8 episodes. There's no excuse.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I found it. I'm glad that Dalakai said this. Oh, I read this. So glad you found this. It's from the Metro. Yes, it is. It was very surprising when I saw this, and then Emilio sent it to me as well, saying, "Have you seen this?" Yes. So it's good. And Duncan, the Funky Evans, joining us, saying, "Hang on, a Metro article not written by that crazed woman. It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing." But it's a good point. And what he's forgotten, or he hasn't had time to write about because of his word count or whatever, is the fact that he goes on to talk about 42 and Love and Monsters and all these poor stories. But then again, in those days, you had 13 or 14 episodes a year. You could actually afford to have 2 lame ducks.
Yeah.
In a series which is 8 episodes a year, you cannot. Every single episode has to be a fabulous hard hitter.
Yeah. It's funny. Russell had a penchant for doing like episodes that are quite light and fluffy to start, and some of them are awful. Like New Earth. I hate New Earth with a vengeance. It's an awful bloody episode.
Which one was that? Oh, the one with the cats.
The one with the cats. The kind of first
Cassandra
season of David Tennant. But Cassandra, and the Cassandra becomes that her servant. She takes over his body like a bit like Richard Bride in Paradise Towers. Yeah,
it was camp. It was too light for a season opener, wasn't it? It didn't work. But then again, I suppose he included the Christmas Invasion as a season opener because Doctor Who was back relatively quickly in those days.
Yeah.
After Christmas. No, I didn't like that.
It's funny how when he was listing what he thought was naff episodes, he gave a pass to Fear Her, which surprises me.
It's funny. What's the one with Capaldi, Sleep No More? I actually quite like that episode, but I've no taste. But there you go.
Do you know I don't remember Fear Her or Sleep No More?
Yeah. Sleep No More is the one with Reece Shearsmith from League of Gentlemen, who's the inventor of the sleep machine.
Oh, that was boring.
I like that one. Yeah,
that's been
the
a
gag about naming aliens in it. About that's what happened with Silurians. A great gag that Capaldi's got was quite funny about naming aliens. It was good. Yeah, I liked it anyway.
What was Fear Her?
It was
Oh,
that
the
one
scribble.
The animation thing, that scribble
Of
thing.
course,
Yeah,
the one they've taken Hugh Edwards out of. Of course, it was.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Maybe
was
that's why I didn't mention it.
Yeah, very possibly.
Peter Vetman Fansite is with us saying justified. Poor characterization was one of the points I have made. A huge problem these people have writing their swaps. And Josh H saying it wasn't just that Space Babies was a bad episode; it was the first episode of only an 8-episode series. That's right, Josh. Yeah. And it didn't get any better, did it? Let's face it. Dark Hall wants us to remember that the Doctor is not a dancing, prancing, singing, twerking, skirt-wearing idiot, as Pertwee's about to prove all over again to hopefully a brand new audience. You know.
Apart from that, Tony did the Green Death.
Oh, hello, Marie UK. It's nice to see you. And you might say that, but we couldn't possibly comment. And Paul Schlavter is saying, I think Doctor Who has become a negative brand. The general public will see all the publicity about the series in general and also about it ending, so aren't going to bother watching it if it's going to end.
Yeah, probably.
It's a good point. And over the last few years here in the United Kingdom, Doctor Who has been getting totally slated, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But it seems to be that the press are even recognising it now, aren't they? I mean, the reviews haven't been great, and now we get articles like this. So obviously, everyone is now seeing the light. Hopefully, well, majority of people anyway, sensible people. Hopefully, yeah.
Light, not the cartoon light one, but the other day. Stephen Braddock saying Jodie wasn't great; she just grated. And Mark Jones was saying, "Were the 3 fans in Lux the gods of Ragnarok?" Well, we said that, didn't we, on our review show on Sunday? That's what we were watching. That's what we're thinking about. We have to wait and see. I'm really not that bothered. I was trying to say to people today, why does it feel we're only 2 episodes down? A third one coming tomorrow. Why does it feel like it's much longer?
Yeah. And we've had an hour and a half of telly. The trouble is, it's just bad telly. That's the thing. You know, it's awful.
It is very bad telly.
It does just feel like it's stretching out, you know. And we've got so many more to go. It feels like it's 13 episodes.
Yeah,
I tell you, honestly. David's still with us. David Shaw saying Doctor Who used to be at half an hour with cliffhangers, especially when the Daleks goes up the stairs and the Doctor was trapped. A brilliant cliffhanger that one, David, wasn't it? Yeah. That's why it's going to work on the repeat channels, because it's only 25 minutes.
And there's some great Pertwee cliffhangers to come. Yeah. It's a great Pertwee cliffhanger. Superb. Yeah.
And the format of the show originally, even though we know it as weekly, but it still works because you're going to get your cliffhanger, then you go and get yourself a quick cup of tea, and then you come back and it starts again.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how the kids react to this, because apparently all these adults who are pestering the kids, the poor kids, are saying they've got no attention span. Let's soon see. Digby, thank you so much for your super chat. People who joined in 2005 and enjoyed the series can't have missed the deterioration if they are being honest. It's fascinating to watch people opening up the criticism in the media. They're getting brave now. Some of them, as Tom Percival from the Metro has done here. He's actually put pen to paper and has been brave, because he will get attacked by various people like we all do.
Yeah, he's a Doctor Who phobe or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, that'd be one of them.
He's got to show a spine now, hasn't he? He's got to show a spine and hold the line.
Yeah.
He can't dial back on it. He should stick to his guns and do what they do, double down, write even more about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We are going to be peering into the well in this particular edition of the show, so stay with us all, everybody. We've got Dalek Eye saying it will be our fault when it goes off into the sunset. We've been saying that. We've got to prepare ourselves, because they will blame all of us, but who cares? I'd rather have no Doctor Who than bad, embarrassing Doctor Who. Talent Wayne Chiang is joining us, saying, evening gents, evening chat. I'm currently putting up IKEA bookcases at the moment, so I'm watching but won't be commenting much tonight, I'm afraid. Sorry. Well, good luck, and I hope you've got the instructions. Heaven's sake.
Yeah, don't read the instructions. That's what we all do. Don't do that. Yeah.
And we've also got Mike Disney with us saying, you chaps in the panel aren't backing out of watching the rest of the series, are you? I wish we could, but no, we're
sadly
committed.
No.
And we certainly need to be committed.
We'll see it through.
Yeah.
The only one, Mike, I'm not watching is the one I can't bring myself to watch, is the Juno Dawson one. I'm not watching that.
We'll have to do a telestat reconstruction for you, GT, to watch.
No, don't bother. It's fine. I'm sure I'll get the drift from what you're telling me, honestly. Why does it feel so long? Says Craig Dunlop. Have you never been to a dentist? Yeah, but the dentist is far more pleasurable at the moment. You know? And Terrified Monk is saying, I've noticed the deterioration since there is 6.5 of the Matt Smith era.
Yeah.
6.5.
It was split into two halves, wasn't it? I think that's what they mean. Yeah.
Well, there we go. What are you saying?
I just said evening, Peter.
Yeah, Pete is there. Hello, Pete. Nice to see you. And Lex Kane's joining us as well, saying, hi, JT, Paul and Third Doctor Ian. I'm home to a nice sunny evening in Liverpool. Oh, how gorgeous. You can go down to the Albert Dock a bit later then and get some of the Mersey air, can't you? I love that on a nice sunny evening. Best place to be in the universe. Hello, John D. Yeah, John D. retired. Nice to see you. Make a show for 0.1% of the population and act surprised when nobody watches it. Go figure. Now that's the other thing as well. He was mentioning there, wasn't he? Was Tom Percival in his article that he feels that RTD doesn't know who he's writing for. Now, Tom, with the greatest respect, that's not how you do television. You should never be writing to a certain demographic. You should be writing for everybody, especially when it's on the BBC, which people are forced to bloody pay for, whether they want to or not.
Russell claims he knows his audience because they say what I can't what the ratio is for the demographic, but he's claiming he's written for that area and they're doing really well. So, but it's obviously not. It's not enough people. That's the problem. You know?
Well, we read that thing out the other week, didn't we? That article there that said they're not getting that demographic, and it's a blatant lie.
Yeah.
I mean, again, they're just tying themselves up in knots with excuses. And the BBC are backing him with, the iPlays. And the only reason they're saying things are popular on the iPlayer is they want to push it as a streaming service.
Yeah.
Which is where their future lies. I've said it before, haven't I? They need to get on the iPlayer, get rid of the TV license and get going. It's as simple as that. And let people subscribe to the iPlayer. Honestly, they drive me mad, these people. They've not no common sense. Carmen Morris, it's bad when the rubbish figures of 4 million views are the dizzying highs this show can only dream of. Well, it's less than 4 million now, Carmen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sad days. It really is embarrassing. Woodhouse122 saying, I'm going to despise that Eurovision episode. And Dark Caller saying the Daleks in that old Kit Kat advert were better than any Doctor Who episodes now. Yeah, the one that was quickly pulled off the air. Do you remember?
Yeah. Peace and love.
Yeah, terrible. I remember not seeing that at the time and thinking that's not right. Digby is saying to us, surely they can't blame us for Gatwa Who going off air. Want to bet? We're on the wrong side of history. Have no influence in RTG as a genius. That's exactly why they'll blame us.
Yeah.
We wrote this thing and it was the best thing ever, and the fans didn't watch. And they've already started in a way. We've covered some of the stuff on headlines, haven't we, Digby?
Yeah.
So there'll be a lot more coming. What else? Philip is telling us, I actually watched the episodes on the iPlayer before it's aired. It's eternity waiting for your reviews. Oh, good. That's what we call anticipation.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
He's right though in the article though about the fact that dropping the episode at 8 o'clock in the morning is suicide, isn't it, for television? It doesn't really work,
Yeah, it really is. And he's also right. And it's blatantly in front of us, and we haven't actually ever discussed it. No, the other BBC shows get that treatment. So this is the Disney influence, isn't it? So they can put it on 8 a.m. here, so Disney can put it on at 7 o'clock or what time they're putting it on elsewhere in the world. That's the only reason. It's the Disney influence.
Yeah.
Because usually what's traditional, of course. Hi, Cody W1. Nice to see you. When does RTD not lie? Never trust people in show business. But usually what would happen is they would screen it first on the channel, whether it BBC One, BBC Two, ITV, whatever. And then it's available afterwards, isn't it, on their online service?
Yeah. And it's such a shame that's partly killing it. Apart from the fact it's rubbish as well. Obviously, that's killing it as well. But that's really not doing them any favors, I don't think at all.
No, it isn't. It really isn't. And also because, as well, in a sense, it's good for Bad Wolf and it's good for BBC Studios because these youngsters, the minority that are absolutely clinging to this, as we know, they'll watch it at 8 a.m. then they'll watch it very shortly after. then they'll watch it again, and by the time it's aired on BBC One at 7 o'clock ish, they would have watched it about 10 times.
Yeah.
Each racking up a view.
And it doesn't affect the ratings that well, does it?
No, I mean, what the Robot Revolution ratings they got from that weren't particularly great. They're still less than they got before, so it's not doing well at all. You can't dispute the figures. Ask Pertwee.
Exactly. No, absolutely. Yeah. And of course, as Pertwee has made perfectly clear, the overnight figures are hugely important because they go towards the consolidated figure.
Yeah.
Massively, as he showed us on Wednesday. Tyrell Victorious is with us. Hello, mate. How are you? Hope you've had a good week. Russell used to know how to write for a general audience. When you watch episodes like Midnight, it's a great examination of human nature and how we can react badly in situations we are scared about.
No, he's written some cracking episodes, but he just lost it, I think, allegedly.
He's not got it anymore.
No.
I'm just thinking about... God, sorry.
No, I was saying, like we said before, though, you know, even though he's written some cracking episodes, the best standout episodes were never his anyway.
Yeah.
What cracking episodes has he written?
Well, Midnight is a particularly good one, don't you think?
Midnight's a good episode.
Yeah.
Midnight, okay. Right.
I think Utopia is quite good. The one with the Return of the Master is quite a good one.
I like the alternative history in Turn Left, to be fair.
Turn Left, quite like Turn Left as well, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I was exaggerating. He's written a lot of cracking episodes. But I can't remember. That's the problem.
That's the thing. And yet, the three of us can remember anything from 63 to 89 and say that's a cracker.
Yeah.
That's the difference, isn't it?
Was Tooth and Claw. He did Tooth and Claw.
Tooth and Claw was good, yeah.
Okay. Duncan the Funky Evans. If RTD is writing for a younger generation, why did he spend all of Dot and Bubble insulting them?
Yeah.
And Marine Boy 1960. Of course, RTD knows his audience. Unfortunately, his audience is a single, trans, or non-binary who chooses to watch Britain's Got Talent. Very true. Probably very, very true. Stephen Braddock saying to us, if the Metro has turned on the Doctor, the writing's on the well.
See what he did there.
It's going to be one of those weekends, everybody. It really is. And Mark Greaves, thank you for your super chat. The aliens from the old Smash adverts have more menace than anything written by RT Drivel. Them and their metal lives. Yeah. Again, that was that huge. Those adverts were so huge in the 70s. Anybody who saw the Smash adverts immediately thought of Doctor Who.
Yeah, but they're kind of based on the Daleks, weren't they? Really?
Of course they were.
Yeah.
I love them. But everybody did, didn't they? Because of the voice and everything like that. You knew that's what they were trying to get at. I used to love them on Saturday night.
In the Media Museum in Bradford.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to go. How big are they?
They're about 2.5 feet.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, so proper puppet type things.
Yeah.
Oh, fab. Oh, I have to go and see those.
I'll see if I can dig out a picture from somewhere, JT. I'll send it to you.
Did you say Bradford?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Mark. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for your super chat. And Paul Schlefter saying to us, RCD knew how to write Doctor Who in 2005. He wrote for the fans, but most importantly, the great British public, and that showed in the ratings. I think it was also the fact that, it was quite strong then, wasn't it? But I think the actual brand of Doctor Who helped.
Yeah.
Here's a new Doctor. It was Christopher Eccleston. The Daleks. I think that whole thing helped as well.
Yeah.
Really.
They were very careful early on not to get too bogged down with continuity and backstory and stuff like that. But now it's if it's not for us, who's it for? Because they're just presenting all these classic villains and characters, etc. So if it's not for us, who's this for?
And it shouldn't just be for the minor. It should be everybody. Well, Doctor Who is a family favourite, or was a family favourite in the UK, and hopefully, and I'm sure it can under the right hands be again. But
the thing is, Russell was brought up with Doctor Who. He saw what happened in the 80s when J&T made it too fan orientated, and that didn't help the show. And he's kind of doing the same thing a bit. It's weird, isn't it?
It's a great point, Paul, because you're absolutely right. Because you were, we won't mention names, but certain people were influencing what JNT was doing to get the continuity right, weren't they? And who cares? Only diehard fans with some sort of. Anyway.
Although let's get started on unit dating. We'll be here all night.
Exactly. Daryl's with us. Hello, Daryl. Nice to see you. Under 1 million, then, says Daryl Joyce.
Eventually.
Wicked, isn't he? Good to see you, Daryl. And hello to this. This is that Sticks Boy 73? Is that right?
So, yeah, I think
Six
so.
Boy 73. Yeah. Nice to see you, Six Boy 73. Says hello, gentlemen. First time watching. Well, welcome to Who's Views, and welcome to our lovely community here.
Subscribe, please. Thank you.
Yeah, subscribe.
They're good on cue, aren't they? These two, they are good. But yeah, nice to see you, Six Boy. Make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, and come and join us for our big review show on Sunday evening, 8 o'clock UK time, where we're going to be looking at The Well. Yes, we're going to be also previewing that in just a few minutes, so stay with us, everybody. But
JT, I hope it's as exciting as your voice over there, because that was really good.
Thank you very much. Andy's telling me I'm wrong here. Sometimes ITV will put all 6 episodes of a drama on ITVX right away. The BBC don't do that. Early iPlayer hit has affected the overnights period. Well, yeah. Well, I always say that something like Doctor Who, which has this cult following, you can't really trust the figures of the iPlayer, because I guarantee you all the obsessives that go and watch it from 8 o'clock and then through the day, and then we'll watch it on BBC One on the evening again, will then also go back to it after it and then go back to it, because that's exactly what we did with audio recordings and videos. Go back and watch the blooming thing over. I remember in 1983 for the 20th anniversary season being so impressed with the 20th anniversary season and loving every minute of it. I started to walk home at lunch, watch the 25 minutes, grab a sandwich, get back to school. Because I loved it. I absolutely loved it. That's why my lasting memory of Mordred Undead was that walk to and from school, which seemed like years when I was a kid,
Yeah.
Just to watch 25 minutes of Doctor Who and then get back again. Love it, love it, love it, love it. But that's what the kids are doing today. They're just using the iPlayer.
Yeah.
Sheila B in the devotions is being very, very honest here and saying RTD is burnt out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
She's got a great icon there as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Straker.
Yeah. We were talking about that the other night, weren't we?
Yeah.
We were. Yeah.
UFO.
The
series. I wasn't swearing.
Rick Storm wants to know, did RTD actually write those episodes, or were they all collaborations with competent writers? No, most of them were his own.
Yeah.
But in those days, again, considering he followed the traditional Doctor Who route of having other writers coming in. Now it's more, apart from this series, of course, it's all him, because there's so little of them, and he still needs paid, which is why, starting with tomorrow, of course, he's a co-writer because he still gets a bit of money and does do in the future. But in those days, because there were 13 or 14 episodes, he had to farm things out, didn't he, guys?
Does he really need the money? I mean, really?
Well, you wonder, don't you? Mind you, you don't know what activist groups he's funding, allegedly.
True. Allegedly, yeah, true.
I can't imagine
what's going to happen in the
future. Just being vocal, I would imagine they would, at some point, be in a position where they have to put their money where their mouth is.
Well, just remember when the target range set up again from BBC Books, he said to Moffat, "This is our pension."
Yeah.
Well,
I wonder how that's going for them, because from what I hear, they're not good sellers.
No.
And I'm not surprised at $9.99 a book, or whatever it is. And Woodhouse 122 saying to us, Saturday's overnight ratings are going to tank again. It's up against Britain's Got Talent's live episode, and if the footy overruns, it could be an 8 p.m. start. Now, this is where I wanted to talk to you about this. So I just want to send a message though to Tom Percival in case he ever watches, finds this show. We understand why you're where you are, and we've been saying it for ages. So welcome to our side, basically.
Yeah.
Welcome to our side. Hello, Babette Bombshell. Babette Bombshell's with us. For Doctor Who to truly feel like classic Who, it would need a refocus on horror, Monster of the Week and cliffhangers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Needs to be scary. That's the thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. It does. It really, really does. Just to tie in with Tom's article there, he mentioned the whole thing about them releasing cast updates like the Rylan and the Graham Norton, and he quite rightly questions them. Who's going to care? Well, that leads me to the announcement that came just the other day here, because who's going to care about this lot? Because yes, Alex Jones from the One Show, Joel Dommett, who's a comedian, he's also the presenter of, what's it called?
The Masked Singer, I think, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, it is, the Masked Singer. And Rita Chakrabarti, who apparently is from BBC News, are all going to be in next week's Doctor Who, which is called Lucky Day.
Yeah. Again, this is another thing that's going to date the series like he did before. All these modern people on it who represent bits of television. It's madness. Like having Davino on at Christmas. Crazy. It really is.
Well, he loves that sort of crap.
Yeah,
doesn't it? He absolutely does. Lucky Day is the one that might be sort of decent because it's Millie Gibson.
Yeah,
so it might, and apparently it's the Doctor Light one.
Although I had heard there's some Doctor flashbacks in it apparently, so you will be in it a little bit, but not that much. Yeah.
Flash what?
Yeah.
Flashbacks.
Oh, flashbacks. Yeah. Oh, phew. That's good then. That's good. What we got here from Bedweer. He got in touch with me about this when it comes to tomorrow's Doctor Who. At 16:45, the footy ball is on. It's something called the FA Cup.
That's like the Go On show, that is. That's good to like that.
Yeah, the FA Cup with somebody called Crystal Palace and Aston Villa, whoever they are. That's 16:45 start. Doctor Who is scheduled to start at 8:20 with blankety blank.
16:45 kickoff, or the program starts at 16:45?
It doesn't tell me, and I don't know. It just says 16:45 the FA Cup. That's it. So that'd be program start surely. But then it's got Doctor Who at 7:20, and then blankety blank at 8:05. So what Bedweer was saying to me this morning. He likes this. If the football concludes after 90 minutes plus stoppage time, Doctor Who will be fine. The game finishes around 7 p.m., 15 to 20 minutes for analysis and interviews, etc. However, if extra time and penalties are required, the match will not finish until after Doctor Who is supposed to have started. If that happens, then both Blankety Blank and Pointless Celebrities are both new episodes. Same with The Casualty. Doctor Who will have been available on the iPlayer all day. If I was a betting man, I can see where my money would go if I had to pick which one would get dropped. Match of the Day is scheduled for 10:30 p.m. with highlights from 5 Premier League matches. Good God, really? To show, so I don't see them pushing back the 10 o'clock news. Basically, Bedweer says, I can absolutely see a scenario where Doctor Who doesn't get broadcast on BBC One, especially given the recent collapse in ratings tomorrow.
I've just looked at BBC Sport. The kickoff time for that Palace Villa game is 5:15, 17:15. So the first half is 45 minutes. That's 6 o'clock. You've got half time, which is 15 minutes. That's 6:15. Then you've got the other 45 minutes, which is 7 o'clock. Now you've got to factor in that with stoppage time and everything else, sometimes a half can overrun by 5 to 10 minutes. So that 7 o'clock could be 10 past. Then if they have extra time, that's 15 minutes per side. So that's another half hour with a 5-minute break in between. So you could be 10 past 7, 20 to 8, quarter to 8, 10 to 8.
And then the post-match analysis as well. You got all that to think about.
So you could be looking, with extra time, you could be looking at 8 o'clock.
So Doctor Who. So this is what Bedweer is suggesting as our rating analysis. There could be 2 episodes this season, as he said actually on Headlines a few weeks ago, that might not make it to BBC One. The Well tomorrow being one of them.
Yeah.
And it all depends on how well the fellas are playing football.
Yeah.
So let's hope for a draw.
Can we fix the game? Can we make them play longer? How do we do that?
we need to have a draw after 90 minutes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So into penalties then. Yeah.
A lot of you reacted to.
They might do. I don't know. It's so long since we've been in an FA Cup final. I can't tell you.
There's a lot of people reacting to that in the chat from what Pertwee has said to us here. Lex, thank you for sharing with us that he got his favourite movie on Blu-ray today, In the Heat of the Night, for $3.99 at HMV at Carlisle Lake District.
Wow.
Well, good for you. Thank you for that. In the Heat of the Night, I seem to recall that one, Lex. It'll come back to me. Cody is saying to us, I hope it's taken off. Bill Lowry is saying, it doesn't matter if it gets shown on any BBC channel. I ain't watching and I ain't alone. Paul Roach is saying, Villa will mash Palace, so I wouldn't worry. I'm not worried. I honestly think it's just very interesting. Emilio was asking us, could they put it on BBC Two? Well, I don't think the controller of BBC Two would be very happy about that.
No.
I wouldn't be. I'd be like, why should I have this 1 million show on when I've got Gardener's World that's getting 2? Or whatever, you know. So I don't think they could, because all the schedules are more or less set. This has been a nightmare for Doctor Who this time of year, hasn't it?
But such a flagship show, it's not. That's hard to say. It's actually not a good place to be. And if they're trying to sell the show, it's not a great place to be at all, is it? You know, it's not as important as they might think.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
If Doctor Who's on 7:20 p.m. tomorrow, that's a very, very little gap between full time and show coming up. I suppose the fans of this version just have to. Mind you, as I say, they're so busy with the iPlayer, they might not even notice if it's not on BBC One.
Yeah.
Can you imagine in our day without the iPlayer, if they didn't put Doctor Who on, there would have been an uproar.
Yeah.
Well, it's been. Remember, they did it before. The episode delayed because the tennis overrunning, or it was postponed for a week because it was Winston Churchill's funeral or something like that. Lots of different things happened that were on the telly that pushed it to another place. So it does happen, doesn't it?
Yeah. Kester Jonas also, doesn't Britain's Got Talent start before Doctor Who too? I think tomorrow it does, especially if the footy ball is going to be running. Again, it's down to the players, isn't it? If they decide they don't want Doctor Who on, they'll mess around for 20 minutes or fall over and oh, I've hurt myself, drama. They are great big drama queens, some of that lot. They should be on the stage.
Some of the acting's better than Doctor Who, though, to be fair.
Oh, totally.
And the crying's more convincing as well, I think.
They make me laugh. Sometimes when I see them and they trip over and they grab their ankle or something, and it's all and 2 seconds later they're up and off.
Yeah,
because nobody's paid them
kissing
any
each other after a goal and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, what's going on there?
It's when they get their ankle clipped and they go down holding their head that I think, what on earth's going on? And it does happen. It's unbelievable. But
it's so funny, isn't it? Julianne, 2 episodes that might not air. It's some good news. Lex is saying to us, I totally agree. The Well will not get any watching it. The FA Cup goes to extra time. Of course, Rory and Time. It was Gene Hackman, the late Gene Hackman. Oh, bless. Yeah. But there we go, everybody. So that's what Pertwee was saying. It might happen tomorrow. It might not do, but it's very interesting, isn't it? We'll have to wait and see. There we go. One thing that has come up about this, though, of course, is as usual, we're now going to have a look at tomorrow's episode. But first, before we do that, I want to go to this week's edition of Doctor Who magazine, which was published just a couple of days ago, or yesterday, actually, Thursday. Interesting cover. Now, had I been invested in the episode, I would have quite liked that, but I wasn't, so I don't. Because it is clever. It's a good cover. It works.
Yeah. It's very eye-catching, isn't it? Very colourful.
It is, yeah. But it's just got a version of the Doctor I don't like, and the episode wasn't done properly for me.
Yeah,
but it's a shame, really. But once upon a time, I might have liked that cover. I can't believe I'm actually in that position now where I'm saying these things. You know what I mean?
It's really sad, isn't it?
They need to put that yellow triangle in the corner saying the official magazine, as if anybody cares.
Yeah. Do you remember they used to carry that years ago, though?
Yeah.
And the BBC didn't care.
Is that to remind us that they're still there? Is that the chance?
Yeah. Well, it was back in the day. Nathan Turner allowed them to call themselves the official magazine. The BBC didn't care. BBC were interested. Now it's the other way around, isn't it? You've got to push that. But there's some interesting things in this, which I thought we'd go to. We're going to start actually with RTD's now infamous production notes. Brace yourselves. Mark Milford, thank you so much for your super chat. Before we do that, let's get to Mark Milford because he's given us a super chat there. Thank you so much for that. When I was a kid, he says, I used to watch a TV show called Doctor Who. Anybody know what became of it?
No idea. So such an obscure show, wasn't it?
It was.
Finished in 89, I think. There was a TV movie in 96, and I think that was it.
Yeah.
It's sad days for it. Really is. Dalek Eye's asking, you would have thought they would have planned the schedule beforehand, or was it their plan anyway, knowing how bad it had been received the first time round? It's hard to say. One day we'll know, Dalek Eye. We will know one day. From my point of view, it just shows you how the BBC One schedulers haven't a clue.
Yeah. You need to know when it's on if you want viewers to watch it, don't you? That's the thing.
Unless they've been
slot,
told to bury it.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh.
You never know.
It's a good...
Strange things like
that. Like we said, I wonder if the same thing will happen to the spin-off, or they'll put that on the iPlayer straight away and just leave it there, and see what happens.
We should know within the next couple of months.
Follow you and Eden, and they'll just put it all on in one day. Just one episode.
Yeah.
Well, apparently the end of the series bleeds into it, doesn't it? So we're going to know in the next few weeks, one way or the other, when it's going to come along, and etc. etc. Edward is saying to us, I don't usually watch footy ball, but if the acting is better than Doctor Who, it might be worth watching.
Yeah, I go with that. Yeah.
Yeah. That was quite funny, actually. Lee's saying to us, it looks like a kiddie comic for the cover of Doctor Who magazine. Well, it is now. Have you seen the amount of stuff that's in it? I hated all that stuff. When they got rid of Doctor Who Adventures magazine, they transferred some of it into the Big Brother one, the proper one. Kids' pictures and kids dressed up, and it's not plays. I don't want to look at all that nonsense. Can't be done with this. Keep it to your family albums or your Facebook. I care about. How much is Doctor Who magazine now? It's $7.99 a month. Peter.
That's ridiculous.
It was a bit.
I thought 12 pence was expensive, but that's taking the mickey there, I think.
Yeah. And Stakesboy 73 said, I've been sorry to hear everyone not liking the season so far. I haven't hated it, so maybe I'm alone. You're not alone. There are people out there that do like it. From our point of view, no, nothing's engaged us yet. However, will the well engage us tomorrow? Because it does look different.
Yeah.
I'm just worried now, Stakesboy, that I'm going to look forward to something like I did with the David Tennant things. And it's rubbish, and I'm disappointed.
But we've been burnt too many times, haven't we? That's the thing. We've tried to be optimistic, and they've let us down every time. It's like
yeah. But if you're liking it, Stakesboy, and you're involved with it, good for you. Please come and join us on our Sunday review shows to tell us what things you liked and what things you do like. If we don't, tell us why you do, because that's what it's all about. It's all about opinion. Hello to Chris, who's joined us. Thank you for your super chat. Eccleston was my first Doctor. Oh, how the mighty has fallen. Oh, you can't. There's no way you compare Eccleston with Gatwick, can you?
No. Chalk and cheese, and I'm being polite.
That's being very polite. I mean, it's Eccleston.
Yeah.
He's not fit.
He's not that little, is he? Should he?
No, he's not. No, but yeah, you can't really. Yeah. Although I'm sure they'd be very polite with each other. And Mark Greaves, thank you for your super chat. You and Gold decided not to show New Doctor Who because it was too dated. Maybe they did, but it's all part of the same family. So some things have moved channel.
Yeah.
And it's all part of their new rebranding, according to the press release I've got here from UK TV, which they're very excited about. But I think it's just glad they're showing it as often as they are.
Yeah.
Practically all morning and most of the afternoon. I think that's brilliant. Take that, Star Trek on Legend. And Stakesboy saying to us, yes, I definitely can. Well, good for you. Good for you. And hold your own. But no, that's what Who's View is all about. David Shaw wants to know, where can you buy Doctor Who magazine at this moment in time? If you can find a W.H. Smith before they start closing them all, you can get it in W.H. Smith. You can also get it in various supermarkets, including Tesco, Asda, and some Sainsbury's, I believe, depending who's with you.
Yeah.
You can also get it, they'd want me to tell you, online, but there you go. That's up to you. Okay. And it's
cheaper to buy. It's cheaper to buy if you get it online. If you get it sort of a subscription, you get like a free issue every year or something. Or Like
do you know,
that.
Paul? I don't think you do, but I'm going to be mentioning something about the next issue in a second. So stay with us, everybody. Thank you for joining us. It's good to see you all. But I do want to get into this. This is Russell T Davis's what used to be called production notes, but I've just realised today that they don't call it that anymore. They just call it Russell T Davis, as if they're expecting a round of applause. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would like to, if I may, read this out to you, everybody, because there's a couple of points. Now, Ian made some very good points about looks and the location of looks in our review on Sunday. Do you remember, Ian?
Yes, I do. Why couldn't it have been Oldham?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I think he was watching and very quickly rewrote this thing because he addresses your point. The other thing that I think it's important that we look at as well is that we all know there were reshoots.
Yeah.
He addresses that now. So listen to this and let's have a chat to both these points. According to RTD, Belinda once lived in a very different house. Yes, we're mid-transmission, so now I can use this page as a kind of running commentary, because although we have tons of behind-the-scenes footage and Unleashed and Doctor Who magazine articles, there are still lots of unspoken facts to be shared. So off I go. And say nothing to that. I'll have to be careful. I know this issue will be published after Lux and 2 days before The Well, but sometimes the process goes mad. Sometimes an issue of Doctor Who magazine will arrive accidentally a week early. I think that happened at Christmas, and I don't know why. Nothing in the world can stop me now, says a big cigar chomping publishing magnate who throws a massive lever. The usual waffle. Anyway, but back to the robot revolution. Yes, Belinda's house. Originally, it was just Belinda alone living there. We shot it that way and edited it and finished the episode. But it bugged me. Isn't that house a bit big for one person in London? How much money has Miss Belinda Chandra got? I worried that it undermined her. We're establishing a hard-working NHS nurse in London 2025, but you could have a roller skating derby in that kitchen. So we met the bosses and we had a chat. We wondered maybe her parents bought her the house, which is possible. But how do we tell the viewers that? And at London prices, that still makes them millionaires. And even then, they'd get their money back by having lodgers in other bedrooms, surely. I was very much thinking of my niece, who's just moved to London as a junior doctor, and she's jammed into a house share with 3 mates. They're loving it, they're hating it, all the fuss about the fridge and the rota and the washing up. Yes, I thought, that's more Belinda. So we decided to change it. And if any of you are interested in writing and production and that sort of thing, this is how we did it. I did a rewrite. This was months after we'd finished, so I had to be careful and kind to the budget and resources. But I like this sort of challenge. We'd kept the kitchen set, so that was lucky. In the middle of shooting some other episode, we took Virada back to the kitchen for an hour. I invented a housemate called Tombo, named after a friend of mine. We built a little doorway for him and that stretch of corridor for the robot to walk past the other housemate, Christine. Tiny sets, just walls. That's all we needed. And I added a line for the robot, residents will remain in their rooms. Oh, and earlier, Christine shouted an extra line, would you please keep it down? Some of us have got work in the morning. And then we filmed cutaway shots to the interior of the fridge and the surest sign of a house share. Everything was labelled. That's true enough. Everything was labelled. Granola, obsessed Tombo with his furious Tombo. We edited that together. And ta-da, house share instead of single occupancy. And crucially, a more believable companion for 2025, exactly how a young NHS nurse would be living. Just 2 more actors, a few lines in ADR, and 4 new shots. Tombo, Christine, and Robot, the fridge, and the reverse of Belinda looking into the fridge. And look, a crucially different Belinda is created. Nice. So there's that bit. It goes on to say, those were pickups, which are scenes shot after the official shoot is finished. There are also deleted scenes, material shot during the official shoot, but dropped in the edit. There was a very different opening for Belinda, starting on the day of her birth, with her mother, Lakshmi, and Auntie Devika, but we didn't use them because they didn't survive the first edit. It's common sense, really. A story about Belinda having a star named after her should start with Belinda having the star named after her. It was simple as that. Sometimes you can't see the obvious until it's staring you in the face. But the deleted scenes are good. Hang around. I'm sure Doctor Who magazine will cover them, and hopefully they'll be released one day soon. That's on the box set, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
As for looks, well, I'm cautious of spoilers in case you haven't seen it yet, but that stayed very much as written. Here you go, Ian. The greatest production problem was a cinema in Miami How the hell do we film the exterior? Even as we discussed it way before the script was written, that seemed to be a big task. So I had separate plans in my head to move the action to Blackpool in the 1950s. Nice, salty, atmospheric. The diner would become an all-night greasy spoon with factory workers beginning their shifts at 4 a.m. I love a greasy spoon, me. Where have I got to here? Love a greasy one. Rini might have seemed a bit more lonely with a halo of steam coming off that shiny chrome urn. And she wouldn't have been called Rini in Blackpool, more like a Rita. So all those plans were turning. And then I handed in the script, and our locations department said, oh, it's exactly like that old cinema in Penarth. Perfect for Miami. We can use that. So 3 miles away from Bad Wolf Studios. So you see, sometimes contingency plans aren't... hold on, let me turn the page. Aren't needed at all. More to come next month as the running commentary continues. The truth about the Noctis Incnid, our long history with the Orisha, Dugadoo, the occupant of the vault, and the issue after that, the finale rears into sight with the Dispossessed, the Seekers, a very surprising novel, and the terrifying mysteries of the Bone Palace. So much more to come, and as a predecessor of mine loved to say, stay tuned. What do you think?
Well, it's like the two Doctors over again. They've just changed the location.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he's telling the truth, though. Do you think he's telling the truth about these reshoots, or is he trying to cover up for what else has been shot? You know, that we're speculating about. You know, that there's been a regeneration shot or whatever, blah blah blah. Because they're trying to tie it up. You know, but
I thought it was very interesting.
He said about filming in Blackpool or something like that, but he would have had to sacrifice that entire segregation racism angle. And by God, he wouldn't do that. You'd have to prize that out of his cold dead fingers, wouldn't you? And he says, we didn't do Blackpool. We did this one in Penarth. Well, that's all very well, but you didn't set it in Penarth. You chose to set it in Florida. It doesn't matter where you filmed it. You said it was Florida, so you could shoehorn that racism angle in, and that was the only reason you did that. He's half the time it's just word salad from him, really.
Yeah. I just thought this was perfect timing after you'd raised that very issue on Sunday. And obviously this is written weeks ago, isn't it? About this whole thing about the pessimistic me thinks they saw it coming because it was all written ages ago, wasn't it? And then suddenly the world changes around them from January onwards. They're not happy about it, but it's all there. It's all happening. We're getting to where we are right now, especially in our country. And I'm just thinking if they thought, right, we'll let that piece of information out there to counterbalance any possible argument like the one you put across, Third Doctor Ian.
Yeah. Trying to dial back, aren't they? Furiously trying to dial back and do damage limitation.
Before it kicked off. So they can say, well, actually, it was in Doctor Who magazine where we put this together and we said this.
Yeah.
It's just, how suspicious am I these days, I tell you, because of what we've learned.
I think with him, I think it pays to be suspicious.
Yeah.
I really do.
And in Blackpool as well. Why Blackpool? Why would it have been set in Blackpool? You know, it just doesn't make...
It could have been set anywhere. That's the thing, isn't it? The location's irrelevant other than the racial aspect of it, isn't it? I mean, that's the thing, you know?
Wow.
If he'd have set Lux in Blackpool and he had the Doctor Who fans in it, you bet they'd have been walking down the Golden Mile and in the background there would have been a Doctor Who exhibition.
Well, they could have set it in 1970, 75 or something. That'd be great, you know?
Yeah. Hold that thought for a second, guys. Could you come back to that? We've got this here. David Shaw, after this series, is there another series? Has RTD announced it? If it's happening, but I hope it keeps going. David, there hasn't been any announcements at all about anything at the moment. The show is currently in the dark. It's not in production. There is no Christmas special currently being touted. RTD has gone on record to say there will be no decision made about the future of this version of Doctor Who until Series 2 has finished airing. So stay with us here on Who's Views, because, of course, when the news breaks, we're all going to get back together here on the show and we're going to discuss this. Don't forget, you've still got 5 episodes of the alleged Sea Devil spin-off to come as well. But as of yet, it doesn't look as if there's going to be a Doctor Who at Christmas or indeed next year, unless they decide to do a couple of one-offs late next year.
Yeah,
but it doesn't look as if there's going to be a series. But don't worry about it, because it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, because they might need to regroup. But it will return. I'm absolutely positive, David. At some point, Doctor Who will come back to whatever happens. So stay with us. And we'll all deal with it at the same time when it happens. Duncan the Funky Evans is saying, does anyone actually care about her housing arrangements? No. Yeah. But however, there would have been, let's be honest, we would have done it. How can she afford to live in London in that house? We would have done that.
Yeah, yeah.
On the review, we would have done that. There's no way as an NHS nurse she would have had that house. We would have. And others would have as well.
In London as well, an NHS nurse would probably live in nurses' accommodation.
Yeah.
Yeah, which they couldn't do. I can understand that, that the students can relate to that, because some of them do get the house share, don't they, together? I mean, I think most of us, I certainly did it in London. I was sharing with about, 4 or 5 others. I couldn't do it these days at the age I'm at now, but at that point it was all right.
Well, the prices to rent places are incredible anyway, so you need to have like 5 or 6 flatmates to afford the rent, don't you? That's the thing.
And the bills, because you've got your council tax to pay, you've got your electricity. In England, you have to pay for water.
Yeah.
It's not cheap in London.
Yeah,
and they put the prices for the travel up in London every year, don't they, on the 1st of January?
Yeah.
Shocking it is. Mark Jones saying to us, RTD is like a football program with the section called The Manager, who talks about the game ahead. Donko wants to know, people pay real money to read this drivel. It's not what it was, I have to say. No, and Derek Hart, hello Derek, and people pay. What's he saying? Wonder if it only got 1 million views tomorrow. Derek Hart, wonder if get only 1 million viewers tomorrow night's Who. Don't know what that means. Sorry.
I wonder if it'll only get 1 million viewers tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. We'll find out on Sunday. Saint 194. It's useless rewriting that if Belinda doesn't feel like a real person anyway, especially with your awful contrived dialogue. No one would react like her in these situations. So what's the point?
All the rewrites in the world didn't cure her resting bitch face, though, did it?
No.
Yeah, she came off a little bit unlikable over her first 2 episodes, didn't she?
But she's making Tegan look nice, honestly, I'm telling you.
And that's quite an achievement. Quite an achievement. John is saying, wow, RCD is so up himself. Who on earth cares about his writing process except as a warning of what not to do? It's a good point. And Lex Kane, thank you for your super chat. In the heat of the night, 1967, starring Sidney Poitier and Ron Steiger, an icon line. They called me Mr. Tibbs.
Is that the one where Sidney Poitier gets his son to smoke cigarettes and drink whiskey because they got caught smoking cigars or something? Is that the one? Or they get cigars to smoke as like a teaching them a lesson? It's a great scene, if that's what I'm thinking of.
There you go.
Yeah.
I have no idea. And Pablo, nice to see you. The concept can't die; it's eternal. I generally tend to agree with that. If Doctor Who is so strong as a format, personally, I think they've gone slightly away from that format now. But I genuinely believe, in the right hands, it could be huge. Not that I want it to be too huge, but I'm being selfish. I'm being a bit selfish there, I think.
If you want it to succeed in today's media environment, though, you have to aim for huge, don't you?
Yeah,
really.
Yes, it's sad, isn't it? Really,
and everything else. You've got to. It's like
and also, of course, it is sad where we're at, but also with the way it's set up as well. BBC Studios needs the income, the revenue from merchandise to put back into the show. And that's why it would have to be. But that's why you've got to write it and produce it as Doctor Who, not some sort of agenda-driven show, which will only speak to a minority of like-minded echo chamber people. You've got to write it so anybody in Britain and now the world can sit down and watch this thing and thought, well, that was good.
Yeah. And it has to be recognizably Doctor Who. That's the thing,
Yeah.
Absolutely. But it's why they wouldn't continue it with just the BBC Bad Wolf on its own. Because like you say, they need the revenue from merchandise and nobody buys the merchandise from this rubbish. They don't.
But it's a vicious circle, isn't it? Because if you don't have a good product, you can't sell it.
Yeah. Well, actually, bringing the merchandise up, that leads me to this other thing that I found in Doctor Who magazine, and this might please some of you. It might please some of you if you're prepared to shell out $9.99 for the next edition of Doctor Who magazine, because it comes with a free gift, and it's a reprint of The Wheel in Space.
Wow.
The next issue of Doctor Who magazine, which is out on the 22nd of May, will include a new edition of the Target book, The Wheel in Space by Terrance Dicks. Based on a 6-part story broadcast in spring 1968, it features the second Doctor, his companion Jamie, and introduces Zoe. It is also notable for the return of the fearsome Cybermen. In addition to his work on the TV series, Terrance Dicks had a long and celebrated career. This is obviously for people that are not like us, that have just come to the show. Because we have to introduce Uncle Terry, for heaven's sake.
Yeah.
He had a long and celebrated career adapting televised Doctor Who, and The Wheel in Space was among his final contributions to the main Target books range. It was first published in both hardback and paperback in 1988, with the original paperback edition now being one of the most sought-after novelizations. The story was republished in the Essential Terrance Dicks Volume 1 in 2021, but this is the first time it has been available as a standalone paperback in well over 30 years. The latest edition features a new artwork cover by Dan Miles, who has illustrated the other recent titles in the range, That's It There, and is designed in the same style as the other Target releases from the BBC with a foil logo. The Wheel in Space is also the story that preceded the 1968 repeat of The Evil of the Daleks, the novelization of which was included with Doctor Who magazine 609. So, if you are one of the many fans that didn't find the original version of The Wheel in Space and you don't mind the reprint, it's going to be in the next edition of Doctor Who magazine for $9.99 for the magazine. You'll have to get over that, and the Terrance Dicks novel.
I'm tempted to buy that. I can always chuck the magazine away, can't I? That's fine.
Considering, Paul, that the Target books retail at $9.99 anyway. I saw this in Waterstone's Who Views last Saturday. I went to their science fiction section, right? Because that's where they insist on putting Doctor. Sorry. And they
have contact trading standards on that one, I think.
They had the novels for The Giggle. What was the first one called for Tennant?
Star Beast. Yeah.
Rogue. And one of the other ones from 73 Yards. Yeah. 4 of them. That's it. That's all they had. The 4 of them on the shelf. That thick in some cases. Reminded me of the original Target books. I looked at the price, $9.99 for a paperback.
Yeah, incredible.
Now, I've been in touch for all of you, actually, by the way, with Penguin. And they were very nice. And I asked them, right, this book that's coming up, Doctor Who, The Wheel in Space, will it be available on the shelf? They said yes, but they couldn't give me a date as to when. It's exclusive at the moment, then, in that case, to Doctor Who magazine on May the 22nd. But yes, it will be going onto the bookshelves. But if you want to find it and if you want to get it quicker, because we don't know, and Penguin can't tell me when it's going to be out, it's up to you, isn't it?
What is interesting, though, this is obviously clearly to try and boost sales, isn't it? Because, again, the classic stuff will sell, you know?
Yeah.
And this is marketing to save the magazine, isn't it? That's what it is.
Yeah, it totally is, isn't it? And we can all see through it.
They fall back every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. It's not one of the thinner, I'm just looking at here, it's not one of the thinner Terrance Dicks books by either guys, or those of us of a certain age. It's actually, it's not a huge book, but it's a good sized book. I remember reading it back in the day and loving it. I thought it was great. So there you go. It's on its way. If you're interested, May the 22nd for the next edition of May 22nd. It will be therefore sealed.
Yeah.
Because the book's inside it. What we got here then? And I thought that Star Trek books were expensive, says Peter Venkman fan site. And Stikes Boy 73, I was recently gifted the first 600 issues of Doctor Who Weekly and Doctor Who magazine.
Wow, fantastic.
What a great gift. What a great gift that is. Isn't that lovely? That's when Doctor Who magazine was fabulous.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Read through the ones from 1989 and see how Doctor Who magazine carried itself with the series off the air and the way it tied in with the novels. It was a golden age.
I'll go back to the very start and read the Iron Legion and City of the Damned and all that kind of stuff. And the original Star Beast, superb. Yeah.
Stay with us here on the channel. Lots of that coming up for you. So it's a Target reprint with a free magazine, says Robert Payne.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it could be.
Target book with firelighters.
Yeah.
Rick Storm saying, buy it for the book and the magazine as emergency toilet paper.
Probably too shiny for that. Yeah.
It's got shit on it already. It can't be.
And Stephen Braddock saying it's worth it for the book. That's what they'll be. They'll be, as you say, Paul. They are actually be guaranteeing on that. That's what they'll want. You know, they will want people to go out and buy this next one just simply for that book. And as I say, if you don't want to wait for the reprint to hit the shelves because I can't get a date from Penguin as to when it will be, why not? If you want it, it's a decent book. It's Uncle Terry. Why not?
Yeah,
he knew his subject. He knew what he was talking about.
Well, he
certainly did.
He loved Doctor Who and would never have done to it what's been done to it.
Can you imagine? He'd be kicking off now, Ian, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If he was around, can you imagine what that man would be saying? Oh, God, love him. Heretic, RTD knows classic Who sells, will put Easter eggs in, refuses to use its lore anymore.
Yeah.
John Roberts is saying to us, who would buy it if it was Rogue, was free with it? No chance.
No.
As far as I'm aware, I'm trying to get to the bottom of this, viewers. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but as far as I'm aware, these new versions for Target aren't selling as well as the original ones do. And that would correspond to the Blu-rays, wouldn't it? Because the Blu-rays of the original 26-year run sell far more than the modern version.
The BBC are probably already thinking about repackaging all the Blu-rays again in a big box of 26 years for about $3,000 or something already. They're already planning that, I'm sure, you know.
Yeah.
If they probably missed a trick, because what they could do is when they bring out a DVD box set, they could also bring out recovered novels of the same stories in a box set as well. You know, so a box set of the Autumn Invasion, the Silurians, Ambassador of Death and Inferno. In a nice little
they're
box.
trying to Big Finish are trying to capitalize on that by novelizing some of the stories as well. It's incredible.
Yeah. Well, they're desperate for an audience. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say that? What a biatch. Ooh, get her. Hang on. Ooh. But I've said it now. I'd feel bad about giving Panini the sale. I know what you mean. I'm not blaming Panini though, because the powers that be have got no control over it, have they?
Yeah.
You know, it's unfortunate that they've just recruited people that will kiss RTD's arse and not challenge him like a good magazine should. Or maybe I'm just old-fashioned. So Cloud Calculator is saying, I do want the book.
Yeah.
And Sykes Boy is saying to us that he got 7 large boxes worth. Oh, easily. I've got God knows how many boxes in there of Doctor Who magazine, because I bought it from number 1 in 79 to whenever it was 40, I think it was. 40 years I collected it, and then it got too much around about the time Whittaker started, and I just lost interest.
That's where I stopped.
Yeah.
Well, it got very New Who heavy, didn't it? It was very rarely had classic stuff in it, which is a shame.
It did. But Sykes Boy, enjoy every second. You are about to be introduced to some of the best Doctor Who stories ever in those magazines. And if you've got some of the weeklies with the backup strips, you are in for a real treat.
Business Unusual is a cracker. I think it's an Autumn one, isn't it? That's a cracker.
Oh, that's a brilliant one.
Yeah, that's a really good one. And
Croton
Cybermen as well. Yeah.
The Freefall Warriors, yeah. Croton, who we've mentioned before.
Yeah.
Absalom Dak. Do you know
what was it we were talking about the other week, Paul? The Cybermen versus the Ice Warriors on the planet.
Oh, yes. Yes.
The death myths of Goth.
Wonderful.
What was the one with Sharon and the Sontarans and the monastery as well? Dragon's Claw. That was another
Dragon's Claw. That was a great one. That was a surprise.
Dogs of Doom?
I've just spoiled it for
the Dogs of Doom. Don't mention the Dogs of Doom. You've got to watch them all in order, because there are some surprises. Or watch them all, read them all in order, because there are some surprises. But I'm actually quite jealous in a sense, because Sykes Boy, now you're going to get to relive all what we lived and how exciting it was. We had to wait every week, like the TV show. You're going to get all done within. Oh, you're going to get some wonderful.
I hope you've got the transfers on issues 1 and 2 still as well. That'd be good.
You still love them. David, again with the saying, I'm looking for a Doctor Who DVD called Silver Nemesis. Oh, can you get it in HMV or stores? It's hard to find. Can you help? I certainly can. Yes, you can still get it.
Yeah.
However, you might be looking for it as a single. It's not. It's in a box set.
With Revenge of the Cybermen, I think, isn't it? Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Can I just put, do you mind, guys, if I just put that on full screen?
Go for it.
Yeah, go on.
This is the one you need, David. I'll show you this. There it is there. It's with Revenge of the Cybermen. You get 2 DVDs in the box. And you can still get it, okay? I have seen it in various HMVs across the country, but that's the one you want. Revenge of the Cybermen, Silver Nemesis in one box. There you go. But yeah, you can still get
Interesting
it.
seeing those cyber variants on one cover when one variant was on the Revenge of the Cybermen VHS inadvertently all those years ago.
Try Amazon as well. And if
it's
not there, the Who Shop, Galaxy 4, they might still have them in. You never know. But yeah, you can still get it. It's out there.
But it is on season 25 box set. Silver Nemesis on that. You've got about 6 versions of it. So yeah.
Yeah, but season 25 is still not yet out on standard.
No, but it's out on
There's
limited
people
edition.
offering it for $6.99 on eBay.
Wow.
There you go. There you go. Good luck
The
with that,
original,
David. Let us know when you've got it. Gary Hewitt is confessing, why can't I stop buying this magazine? I must have 550 at least. Well, you're mad. That's why, Gary.
It's addictive collecting, isn't it? That's the problem. So
it is, yeah, and we all know it. I mean, it was a wrench. I was saying this to somebody who's just recently stopped buying Doctor Who magazine after all these years. When you've been collecting it from number 1, especially, it was a wrench. But I got used to it quite quickly. Not going on the Thursday.
Yeah,
you know, because I've been doing it routinely for 40 years. Every Thursday at the end of the month, going to get the magazine.
Well, you remember you used to? Some people used to go to your local newsagent and they put your name on the top, you know, things like that.
Yes, yeah. You can see that in my collection with my look-ins, my Doctor Who's.
There was one issue where the cover was Colin Baker looking at the TARDIS door.
Yes,
and they'd written our address across his forehead. I'm not accepting that. I'm sorry. And they ordered another copy. It was why would you do that? Seriously.
It's
just
that. I'm sure that's the one where on the back it had Peter Davison outside the police box as well.
Maybe, yeah.
Don't forget Colin Baker. Don't forget Colin Baker and his penguin, says Bundy 4077 Frobisher. Yeah,
love Frobisher. Yeah, great character. Yeah,
hugely popular to this very day with a certain generation. The companion you could actually do today.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd want to, but you could. Legion of James is telling you, David, that $12.99 on Amazon for the box set. You're getting 2 stories, Revenge of the Cybermen and Silver Nemesis. So that's not a bad price, boys.
Not a bad price at all, yeah.
Go for it, David, if you can. And everybody's helping you in there as well in the chat because they are fabulous. There we go. Oh, well, look at this.
I would like to track down. Sorry, I'd like to track down Proud of the Daleks in colour, but I can't find it anywhere, and it's really, really expensive. I think. I think they came in the tin that you get, you know, the steel book version, but I haven't managed to get that one.
Yeah. David's thanking us. David says, thanks, I'll get an HMV tomorrow on DVD. Thanks for you. And if it's not there on your HMV, you can also, it will be on hmv.co.uk. And of course, as the guys are all pointing out for you, you can get it from CEX and you can get it from Amazon and all those. But yeah, enjoy it and let us know when you
HMV we're doing the Doctor Who sale soon, JT.
Possibly. Who knows?
Allegedly, they're doing one.
Who knows what might be happening there? Keep an eye out on your HMVs.
I think the BBC have a Doctor Who sale as well, I think, yeah.
Well, will they indeed? Will they indeed? But yeah, from same with Doctor Who magazine, they have been starting to look at future episodes of Doctor Who. And tomorrow, yes, it's The Well, isn't it? Have you seen the trailers, everybody? It looks a little bit different. It looks a little bit darker. But the truth will be in the watching, won't it, tomorrow?
Yes.
This is the one that is written by RTD, and of course, it has Sharma Angel Wolfall joining the writing team. This is from Doctor Who magazine a couple of months ago, isn't it? Sharma Angel Wolfall. It's Bad Wolf's job to reach out for new talent by asking agents, theatres, and TV shows who they're buzzing about, says Russell T Davis. And that's how we first found Sharma. It turned out we'd met about 20 years ago when she was a student at the Contact Theatre in Manchester. And during the development process on Doctor Who, Sharma was also in the writer's room for a show run by Kaylee Llewellyn, a BAFTA-winning writer of In My Skin, who lives only 2 streets away from me in Swansea. So it felt like we had a proper little writing community at work. As usual. The other episode, well, this episode is also, they're really pushing the cast on this. It's written by RTD and Sharma Angel Wolfall. It's directed by Aman Brochi, I think her name is. So let's have a look at this now. As usual, Who viewers, I went down the other day to get all the TV listings magazines. I took them all and I took them to a table and I got my coffee and I started looking through them to have a look about how much coverage the UK TV listings magazines were giving them. I thought last week was bad. This week was really bad. Only the TV Times, the TV and Satellite Week, What's on TV, and the Radio Times bothered to cover Doctor Who this week.
Oh. That's a shame, because this one, and I'm going to be proved wrong when I watch it on Saturday, looks quite convincing, quite promising, quite good, quite scary. Could be quite good. But
we've got fingers crossed.
Yeah, exactly. But and there's a bit in the trailer that he's crying in the trailer, but it looks like it could have worked in context with the episode if he hadn't cried 15 times before. You know?
Well,
yeah.
Kester Jonas just said to us, some say writing community, but some will say clique.
Yes.
And Peter
I can possibly comment on that.
Yeah, Peter Venkman Fansite also saying she's not just part of the writing staff, but part of his more diverse echo chamber. Absolutely, that's the problem there. There are some adverts going around as well, which the TV listings magazines actually repeat. And I've been saying this before. This is all scripted. I'm absolutely convinced now, of course. They're sending out the press packs. That's it. There's nothing else. There's nothing new. There's no access a couple of days before to the actors or the production team because there's nobody in, basically. They've gone out and they've all gone on to something different. So they're all printing various aspects of these interviews. We're going to go to one now. This is with one of the stars. This is Rose Ayling-Ellis. So let's have a look at this. This is from cultbox.co.uk. Doctor Who run, but you can't hide from the threat in the well. In a BBC interview, Rose Ayling-Ellis warns there is no hiding from the deep and mysterious threat of the well. She's a determined mother, desperate to find her daughter, Ayling-Ellis says of her character Alice Fenley in The Well. Emotionally scarred, holding it together, but barely. She's raw and she's real. Alice is a young mother in a perilous situation. She's desperate to reunite with her 2-year-old daughter. The Doctor is able to communicate in sign language with Alice, who is deaf. The troopers communicate with Alice via holographic subtitles. The troopers don't understand sign language and don't always use their holographic translators, making a tense situation worse with a breakdown in communication and trust. It wasn't a glamorous role for Ayling-Ellis. She told Scott Mills on BBC Radio 2, I got painted on eye bags. I look like a mess. I've got greasy hair. Like I never felt so gross in my whole life, acting for the whole month. They can expect to be wowed, she said when she was asked what can fans expect from this episode. There's an element of fear in there. It's got that kind of scary, on the edge of your seat kind of vibe. It's got a lot of heart and warmth and beautiful characters. Forgive me for being skeptical about this, but we've heard this before.
Yeah.
And as you're saying, Paul, the trailer looks good. It looks dramatic. It looks
atmospheric, doesn't it? Which is, But
we've been let down before.
We've been fooled before.
Yeah.
What amazes me though is that it took a month to film it. I know things take longer, but they did a classic episode in a week. It's just about in the 60s, and it's much better quality than what we get.
How did you come to be cast in Doctor Who? She was asked. Andy Pryor, the casting director, has been a big supporter of mine for years. He really believed in me and he championed me for the role of Alice. I owe this one to him. How did you feel when you were told you got the part? Incredible. I've always wanted to be part of the show. And to land a complex, layered character like Alice made it even more exciting. The usual stuff. It's boring stuff. Was it hard to keep the secret from your friends and family? How would you describe the character? What was it like working with Gatwa and Setu? How did you find filming? Will you be watching from behind the sofa? If you could travel in the TARDIS, where would you? Oh, it's all rubbish, isn't it? All nonsense. But let's have a look at what was going on here. This is from the TV Times. They gave it 2 different pages. That one on the left is the small one on the day. Now, you will notice here, Who viewers, as we go through all this, they're using the same photographs. Now, these photographs were actually released to us, the plebs, on Bank Holiday Monday just gone. The Monday just gone. Okay. They're the same photographs. Now, the reason for that is because according to his nibs, RTD, they're holding back information because they want people to be surprised.
Right.
To which I say, more blatant stupidity. Your series over the last 2 episodes has flopped. I would have lifted that bar and said, get everything out there to try and get people watching the bloody thing, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they need all the help they can get.
Yeah.
They really do. Yeah.
So they're expecting this big revelation, whatever it's going to be, in this episode tomorrow. And fans are speculating that this is the one that's a sequel to Midnight.
I've heard 2 versions of that. Some people are saying it's Midnight, some saying it's the Waters of Mars. So because it's a well, I'm favouring the latter, potentially, because it's water, but we'll see. Yeah.
We will see. But you will see these are all the same photographs. And they're the photographs that at this moment are still on the BBC social media platforms. They've released nothing else. The synopsis is the ones we're going to be looking at here in the TV Listens magazines. I think that's just shooting themselves in the foot. I would really have said to somebody last week, a brand manager or 2, possibly, lift the bar, get everything out, spoil it, to try desperately to get more than 1 million people watching the show.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into
Well, they
it.
do have plenty of brand managers, don't they?
We've covered them on the show, haven't we? We've talked about them here on the show. Where are they, by the way? Because they're not doing a brilliant job if it's just getting under around about 1 million. Heaven's sake. It is. It is. Sometimes I think Doctor Who doesn't suit the modern world because you've got to have all these elements. And it's a television show. It's a television show. They've tried and failed to turn it into a business because they don't know how to run a business.
They made the same mistake with Jodie's era because they kept clamping down on publicity, the same kind of thing, didn't they? And they kept hiding things and keeping it. It was really stupid. You know,
they kept working on the assumption that people gave a crap, and they didn't ultimately, and it turned around and bit them.
Yeah,
but they've learned nothing. They've learned.
Well, obviously not, and they insist that they're right. Let's just go to the chat quickly before we carry on with this. Juliana saying this is cobblers. These cast interviews make me want to puke. It's just effusive garbage. Garbage doesn't take offense at that, by the way. Problem being is with the saying midnight, it's more like mid-afternoon nap. Doesn't RTD look tired? Ooh, fighting talk. And John Roberts, nothing like they make now will get scary. You can guarantee it. If they reveal anything about the Midnight entity, says Time Lord Victorious, it will ruin the mystery that made Midnight what it is. Looking forward to seeing what you say on what you think about it on Sunday's show, my friend. RTD tried the same thing for Wild Blue Yonder. Oh, so he did, Duncan. I'd forgotten that. And that didn't do very well either, did it?
No.
Forbidden Man says, I don't care. I'm beyond caring. I'm Robin Calvert. Hello. In New Who, everything's so down to earth, even on alien planets. There's a lack of imagination. There's nothing like Traken, Logopolis, Castrovalva, the Urbankan spaceship, and Diva Loca. A la James. I'd agree with that. That was what Doctor Who was all about, though, then in those days. Yeah. And Jess from Australia is with us saying 1 million if they are lucky.
One thing about the episode I did notice, it looks like they're in a quarry, which I thought was quite impressed with that. Yeah. So.
Well, it might be actually. Gary's saying, I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad you are. I'm glad you are. Yeah. As we've always said, though, everybody on Whose Views, please just remember that if this thing is good tomorrow, we're going to come back and say it was good.
Yeah.
Because we'll be honest. At this moment in time, though, after what I've seen over the last God knows how many episodes, I doubt it.
I am jealous of Gary. I will admit that. to have that level of excitement for a Doctor Who episode coming up. I haven't had that in a long time. I really haven't. But you know, I'm glad that he feels that way, and I hope he's not disappointed. I hope he really enjoys it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Quite right too. Well done. Well said. Captain, my captain, it's good to see you. Doctor takes one look at the ghosts of Mars creatures and says, "Babes, I've got a cream that will make you look fabulous."
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
God, it's the dialogue that I don't look forward to in these things anymore. You can do what you want, but if he's going to do a high kick and start talking about Babes and Scooby Doo and Velma, I will disengage with the show immediately. You know, Paul Schlefter is saying to us, "I would have cared once upon a time and be really excited. Nowadays, it all just passes me by." I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. And Heretic OSJC saying RTDs doesn't want the far right watching Doctor Who. If the ratings are bad, the far right are killing the show for not watching. Yeah, well, you can't make all this crap up for them, can you? Really?
Can't. Yeah.
But we've got to remember though, these people are fantasists. They pretend for a living.
Yeah.
You know, Kester Jones is saying it won't be good. Well, let's have a look, shall we, Kester? Oh, it would be tolerable at best. Do you know what? That would actually probably do me if I can get through it.
That'd be okay,
horrible.
Be a massive leap forward, wouldn't it?
It would. It's tolerable. Yeah.
It's tolerable. I'll give it 3 out of 10 on the scores on the TARDIS doors on Sunday. That's the hit for us.
Yeah.
Rose is saying to us, "Hello, Rose Kirby. Hey lads, did you get flashbacks of the film Aliens Planet 67? Made me think of Aliens." It's because
aliens
it's
like Sigourney Weaver type sort of alien. You mean that kind of?
I thought that was Alien 426.
Right.
It's because it's dark. They've turned the lighters down. It'll be spoilers galore online tomorrow. If you're into that sort of stuff. Yeah. And Time of Victoria saying to us, "I'm just more intrigued if we can get one good episode from start to finish. I've missed that." Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
A completely good episode would be nice. Yeah.
And David's telling us, "I found the DVD. Oh, good for you. We'll enjoy it when it arrives. Good for you." Let's get back into this then, because we've just seen the TV Times one there, as you can see there. As I say, the interview with Rose Ayling on the right-hand side also includes, I'm supposed to know apparently who this guy is. Christopher Chung is playing Cassio.
Never heard of him.
I'm supposed to know who he is.
Yeah.
So, but as I say, these are all the same interviews, so we might come to them in a minute. It's all the usual stuff. How does it feel to be part of Doctor Who? What was your experience like? What was it like working with the cast? Were you a fan of the show before you were joined? Blah 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 blah.
Did you practice your pout?
I wonder if Shooty will make a comment how attractive he might be. That'll happen probably. Yeah.
Oh, that's going to take me out the story as well. Anyway, so that was the TV Times there, everybody. Okay, please note the photographs. This is TV and Satellite Week with the picture I've just shown you, and again an official image on the bottom there. Can you see that? Ignore the creep on the left. Okay.
Well, the guy from the episode you mentioned, Christopher, what's his name? He looks is that the Doctor? People might think. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, because he's got that sort of look, you mean?
And it just says Doctor Who next to it as well. So it could easily be the Doctor. Yeah.
Well, this is TV and Satellite Week. Let's go inside it because that's what they give it. A page and a bit.
Wow.
Now that's the biggest this week in any of the 1, 2, 3, 4 magazines that covered it. Okay, let's have a look at their article. We'll zoom in. There it is there. Okay, so it says, after last week's wonderfully bright and colourful trip to the 1950s. Then they go on about it. This week it's a very different world awaiting the Doctor. As the pair get to grip with their new environment, they discover that there is only one survivor remaining in a former mining colony. Naturally, the Doctor is curious as to what happened to leave the place so ravaged, but the truth will lead them to the most terrifying foe they have faced together so far. The guest cast for the episode includes Christopher Chung, who was in Slow Horses, which apparently was this huge big thing. Plus former EastEnders star and 2021 Strictly Come Dancing champion Rose Ayling Ellis as Alice, as we said. And then it goes into what we've talked about. We've got the character of Alice uses British Sign Language, BSL, in the episode, and Gatwa was excited to have the chance to get to grips with the new language during filming. Rose delivers such an amazing performance, he says. It was really amazing to learn BSL. I feel like we should all learn it. written by showrunner RTD and Doctor Who newcomer Sharma Angel Woolfall. As we've covered, the episode has the classic Whoniverse mixture of adventure and terror, as well as some big shocks. Fans can expect to be wowed, promises Angel Woolfall. There's an element of fear in there, and it's got that scary edge of your seat vibe. It's also got a lot of heart, warmth, and beautiful characters.
I hate when they tell you have to enjoy it, because that's what they're doing, isn't it? They're just telling you it's really good, you'll love it. I'll be the judge of that. You know, it's like.
She says, I got to stretch my legs as a writer. It was also brilliant. For Chung, meanwhile, the opportunity to appear in Doctor Who meant finally fulfilling a long-held ambition. I've heard that before somewhere. It's absolutely mind-blowing to be in something as iconic as Doctor Who, he says. Cassio is a trooper who follows the rules and does things by the book, but then the Doctor challenges that. He finds it difficult. The sets are mind-blowing too, with the amount of detail that has gone into them. There is no reason why you wouldn't think you're in that space. And then it goes on to, I can't pronounce this lady's name. The cast also includes Industries. Now, that's a Welsh word. I'm sorry, but I can't pronounce that. Pertwee will be very amused. But yeah, there you go. Who plays Shia. As a long-time fan of Doctor Who, Dunn says she was more thrilled than anyone to land a role on the show, although she admits she didn't make the most of the opportunity. It's a very intense, thrilling episode. Shia is very professional, almost to a detriment, but that good person under all of that. It was a dream come true to be on the show. I didn't go on the TARDIS, though. I saw the inside, but I didn't want to go on. It's a weird thing. As a fan, it's almost like you have to earn your place to go on the TARDIS. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did the two regulars get on there then?
Again, I'm not feeling any energy to any of this coverage.
Well, it is. No. They're just telling you it's really good, and it's like, why are you telling us it's really good? You do not believe in it. You know, it's kind of
that's like RTD. He always says everything's brilliant and the best, doesn't he? And yeah,
the episode just stand on its own merits, and you like it or you won't like it. You know, it's the thing.
Yeah. How are you finding this in the chat, everybody? Not well. Yeah. Okay. Please go. Hello. And this is Skibidi. Oh, Skibidi. Nice to see you. Please hit the like. Yes, please do, everybody. That would be lovely. Thank you very much. Let's carry on then to that. What's on TV? This is a nitty-bitty bit, by the way. This isn't the whole page. This is a teeny little section as part of a massive page. Okay. And as you can see, they've given some coverage to Doctor Who tomorrow. This super scary adventure sees Slow Horses actor Christopher Chung play tough soldier Cassio, while former EastEnders star and Strictly winner Rose Ayling-Ellis also guests as Alice. Set far in the future on a brutal planet where a devastated mining colony has been left with only one survivor, the Doctor and Belinda try to discover the truth about what happened. They also confront a terrifying monster that the Time Lord reckons is his favorite ever.
Well, it must be good.
They also give it this, which is half a page with absolutely everything in it that we've already talked about. Yeah, it's a very visual episode, blah, blah,
from
blah.
All those photographs, so they all look like the Fantastic Four or something. They look really weird,
The outfits are very bizarre, aren't they?
Yeah.
Very bizarre. But, they're supposed to be, I suppose, the spacesuits, I would imagine.
Yeah.
We'll go to this one. This is the Radio Times. That's all it gives. Now that's
for the Radio Times. Wow.
Oh no, there is another bit coming, but for that, I mean, I was expecting something a little bit different, and that's what it gives there on that. It's one of that day thing, Again, the same pictures. I hope you're all noticing.
Yeah.
It then focuses on Christopher Chung.
Oh,
so he must be big.
Yeah.
I've never heard of him.
Judging by the way they do these things, is he the next Doctor then? Because they kind of cast people who they quite liked. So,
what are the reckonings? Is going to be a next one for some?
I know. Yeah. I'm
just
Yeah. Well, that's Christopher Chung. So that's a page and a bit, as you can see there. And then the Radio Times gives it this. That's it. That's their day then. So it gives it that little. And then the cast list as usual.
With Mrs. Flood at the bottom there, yeah.
3 of 8, Series 15. The Well, far in the future, the Doctor and Belinda face absolute terror on a brutal planet. In UHD, whatever that is, on iPlayer from 8 AM, I thought it was a glue. Doctor Who Unleashed follows at 8:05 on BBC 3. That's it.
And it says 15. They're so confused.
Yeah. That might be their rating, GT. 3 out of 8.
Yeah. That's more like to be ours, I think.
If we're generous.
Yeah.
All I'm thinking is that with 4 of the TV listings magazines this week here in the UK, the whole of the United Kingdom pushing this particular episode, all I'm thinking of is they're waiting for episode 6
Mm. Yeah.
and the finale, because too much coverage of Doctor Who is too much coverage of Doctor Who. Too little is too little. It'd be interesting to see what they do with Lucky Day. I think they're all waiting for the Interstellar Song Contest, where they'll push Rylan and they'll push Juno and they'll push
Norton.
the song contest, and they'll make a big fuss of the song contest being on the proper Eurovision being on that night, etc., etc.
It's so desperate, though, isn't it? It's just to get something
really
that's
isn't it?
so niche.
It has a bog fanish feel to its desperation, doesn't it? Really. I'll take that as
I've already done this and bang bang a boom, so it's been done.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It just seems to be a little bit weird. We'll soon know, because obviously on Fridays we're going to be looking at the coverage of these things. Thank you, by the way, to everybody that's got in touch to say it's very interesting to see this for those of you who are outside the UK about how it's publicised here. But I can guarantee you, a few short years ago, from Capaldi backwards, every single one of these covered the series every week. And it had so many covers. I have got collections of stuff there from 2005 to the end of the Capaldi's run of Doctor Who on the cover of, honestly, Radio Times, the TV Times, TV and Satellite Week. Oh, there's so many of them. I was an idiot. I spent so much money on buying them all. Boxes of them through there.
It felt so wrong, don't you think, when TV Times did it? That felt so strange.
Yeah, it was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was weird, because we grew up, of course, when they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it just seems quite lackluster at the moment.
Yeah,
for me, what's going on, and as I say, there's no energy, as you can see, everybody, by what I've shown there. Gary Hewitt is saying, is there any speculation on the finale? No, it's too soon. It's only episode 3, so they're not even doing that. Although, of course, there is bits and pieces about Mrs. Flood and how Anita Dobson's character ties in to what's coming up in the finale.
Yeah.
But does anybody really
care?
The
only thing we can be sure of is that it will reference something related to the classic series, even though you didn't need any knowledge of it.
Yeah.
Allegedly, just like last year.
Yeah. But you know what? I remember back in the early days of Doctor Who, the reboot, and RTD saying, why would anybody bring back the Rani? Because nobody knows, the public don't know who the Rani is. So if he's gone and done that, again, a little bit more going back on himself, a little bit more hypocrisy, possibly.
Yeah.
I
mean, as much as we all love the Rani, she was quite an obscure character. It's like where she wasn't the master, so something that was really, really iconic for general viewers. You know what I mean? So
she did need the master in the bollocks though once, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yes, in Mark of the Rani.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Anthony Ainley's acting of that superb. I have to say.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah. Thanks you all for your chats. It's great to see you all here. But that's it. 4 of them, 4 of the British TV Listens magazines looking at the Well. It's a bit sad, really. It's a bit of sad state of affairs. But that leads us on to be able to tell you that, of course, we will be back on Sunday at 8 o'clock with our review of The Well here live on the channel. So make sure you're subscribed. If you have already subscribed, please make sure you are still subscribed and come back and join us on Sunday at 8 o'clock and let us know what you thought of it, because it's not doing so well. All the usual stuff will be in there. We'll have the Wokeometer, we'll have the crying game, we'll have scores on the TARDIS doors, and we'll have the results of the ratings game from last Sunday. So come and join us all for that one. I can tell you as well that the press release for Lucky Day, which is next week's episode, is out there. It's going to be broadcast on the 3rd of May. It's 46 minutes long. It's going to be on at 7:10 on BBC One. Ruby Sunday faces life back on Earth without the Doctor, but when a dangerous new threat emerges, can Ruby and Unit save her new boyfriend Conrad from the terrifying Shriek? Not Shrek, but Shriek. Ugh.
Do you have any pictures of the monsters at all? Because I saw a couple of pictures of them. They look actually intriguing.
I
Whether
haven't
they'll
got
be
it
any good
with
or
me,
not.
but
Yeah,
we've shown it before on the show.
yeah, I think I have. Yeah, they
Yeah,
look,
we
they
showed
look
it before.
interesting. Whether they'll be any good or not, we'll have to see. But they look interesting.
Yeah. Oh, I've got to go back and tell you something else. I've just looked at the information I wrote about Doctor Who magazine, the next issue with the book, with the Wheel in Space reprint. It also includes the truth about Mrs. Flood, if you're interested in that one as well.
Yeah.
I got the price wrong. It's going to be available on the 22nd of May. It's $10.99, not $9.99. It's $10.99.
So will that be out then by the time the series is finished, or the series will still be running, won't it?
The series will still be running. It's only next month.
That's why I was
Yeah.
wondering whether they're going to reveal Mrs.
Yeah.
Flood, unless that's going to happen. And
It'll
yeah,
just be
well,
before
that'll be the
finale.
cliffhanger. That'll be the cliffhanger to the second last episode, like Sutek was, won't it? That'll be what happened.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I can tell you that the current issue of Doctor Who magazine that I looked at the other day, and I'm not going to go through them now because we'll do it in time, finishes at the Interstellar Song Contest,
Right.
which is
right.
6. So they've got
Right.
2 more in the next Doctor Who, haven't they? The big
Yeah,
finale
yeah.
ones there. So there we go. So yeah, that's that. I was quite surprised it was only the 4, really. And as I say, they shot themselves in the foot there, didn't they?
Totally.
It's so repetitive as well. You think they try and make it a bit more, different in each magazine to make it more interesting. You know what I mean? It's just a bit bland.
I think it's
isn't it?
ridiculous,
Yeah.
absolutely ridiculous that they've just said, "Here's your set photographs," and they're all using the same one, including us as fans. We've been given those same ones. You can see them on their social media because they've got to keep the story.
Did they give? They sometimes give exclusive to SFX, don't they, and things like that, don't they? Occasionally.
Not anything that I could see in that one.
All right, right.
Mm.
I mean, they promised so much with Boom, didn't they?
Yeah.
They promised so much
Yeah,
with
that's true.
Boom, this ravaged planet and everything else, and it was naff. So, whatever they promise, I don't think they'll deliver. And they certainly won't do the tension or the fear, because they don't do that anymore, because it scares the little darlings, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
The only good thing about this is they're in a real quarry this time, as opposed to a set that's a quarry kind of thing,
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it does look. All we can do is watch the thing and then come back and talk about it on Sunday. Duncan is saying to us, it's the Pete McTeague next week, I think. Yeah, the Ruby Sunday one is Pete's, absolutely. Stephen Braddock is saying it's rumoured the gods of Ragnarok are the judges in the song contest. Yeah, we started that.
Yeah.
Last Sunday, Stephen. Where were you? Problem being saying, I think RTD struggles with reality. I don't think it's best place to write a story about it. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. And nice comment here from Jess, whose views are the ones I look to for the main reviews. Quite right too, I say. But yeah, so there we go, everybody. That's where we're up to. That was the week. Thank you for joining us on Wednesday. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back on Sunday. Can you see the excitement in myself? Can you see the excitement about having to watch the thing again tomorrow? Let's see what the well brings us.
Well, after tomorrow, it's only 5 more to go. I'm counting them down, Yeah.
I'm just fatigued with the whole thing already. But yeah, it'd be great. Again, if you like the series, please join us on Sunday to tell us what you liked about it. And if we like it, we'll say. We will see. We will see. So let's see where we're going with the well. To Third Doctor Ian Paul, thanks so much for joining us tonight on Headlines.
Thank you very much.
Here we go again. Get ready for your scores on the TARDIS doors on Sunday. To all of you in the chat, have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. We will see you here on the chat. Oh, and by the way, of course, if you're around at 6 o'clock on Sunday, come and see me live at 6, because it's 6 o'clock. Where I'll be kicking off about something, probably. So come and join me for your pre-warm-up show, and then the big show, the big review show, at 8 o'clock with all the Whotastic panel. Looking forward to that. Just got to get to watch the episode first.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah, thanks for your chats. Thanks for your super chats. Thanks for subscribing. We really do appreciate it. Welcome to Who's Views if you just joined us tonight. We'll see you again, everybody, on Sunday. Have a great weekend. Tra, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.